Yeah, I saw the
You
one
see when he was, but he was right.
I see the thumbnail.
And you know, a lot of your men are turning on him because obviously he missed them one-on-ones against Barca. We all know that. He fucked up with that. He fucked up. He knows that. We all know. He should have already scored that. But man are acting like that was him, like all the time. Like most times one-on-one, Henry was burying it. And what he said was correct. That first touch, there's a difference between a top player and a shit player. That first touch had to go to the inside. You can't be clunking it in a straight line. That's the difference between a top level player and a fucking scrub like Jokovic. Well, let's get it going. One in it? Okay, cool. So is it side of Carl Halal, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And you know, we're coming out again to bring out this word, man. This kingdom is finished, it's through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should already know there ain't nothing redeemable about this world. That's why the Bible says, oh, you know what? Let's start up with that, man. There's nothing redeemable about this world. The Bible says, seeing all these things shall be dissolved. Because no matter where you look in this world, it's corrupted. We're not going to take anything from this world into the new world. We as brothers was just having conversation about sports and flipping education system, and it don't matter where you look here. This whole system is corrupt and demonic and satanic and needs to be put in the bin. These are the facts. Go on. Yeah, Peter. Sorry.
Of 2 Peter 3 and start from 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That great noise is going to come from the thermonuclear destructions, man. And that heat is that nuclear heat and chariot fire, man. That day of the Lord, man, is a dreadful day. And that's going to signal really the end of this world and the beginning of a new world with the destruction of Babylon, which is America. Hey, they're gonna start coming after, but ain't what it is. We gotta say it straight. The destruction of Babylon the Great, which we believe according to the scriptures is America, right? And we ain't saying we ain't gonna do it. We're saying the Lord is gonna do it. The Lord is gonna. So don't try to twist it around, which they will. Oh, these guys are no. We're just telling you what the prophecy is gonna be. America's gonna be destroyed, man.
Yeah, we're pacifists, man. You know, but we bring out the scriptures.
Yeah,
you know.
Hey, it's true. America's got to go.
And the herements shall merge with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Right, the works and all these different areas of life you can identify have been corrupted. Beginning with Esau, Edom, he's corrupted everything, man. Every area of life is not conducive to life. It's working against stuff. Brothers were just going into mad deep conversation about the education system and the way we have to work and live to raise kids. And most people are not raising kids, man. Most people are not raising children. You're not maximizing the ability of your child to be the best man or woman they can be in the system anyway, especially if you're broke, because everything's based upon money and time, and they got us brokies just out here working, and then just flinging your kids into some flipping system where the people teaching them don't even care about them. You got there on YouTube, right? There's whole videos. I don't know if you've seen them. Did I send them through? Where you got teachers talking about why they no longer teachers no more, explaining how the whole system is just really a bureaucratic system of just dotting I's and crossing T's for Ofsted and that. Meanwhile, the children are not really learning. That the teachers can't teach. They can't come up, like, for instance, you can't come up with some novel way to get your point across to the students in the UK. You can't say, oh, I'm gonna use a football as a teaching aid to teach, because they all like football, so we're gonna, and they get it. If the head teacher comes in and sees you do it, they're gonna pull you out the classroom and say, why are you using that football? It's not in the curriculum to use that method. And they'll say, well, because if Ofsted turns up and see you doing that, and you're not doing that with every class, they'll mark you down because you don't have a uniform way of teaching. That's insane.
But teachers are not meant to be uniform. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
So you imagine you're a good teacher and you're good at coming up with ways for the kids to learn in your class because you're expressing yourself. You can't do that now. You can't do that. Plus the discipline in the school ain't there. So a lot of these teachers from, especially in the West, in America and the UK, they're leaving the teaching system here and going somewhere else where you can actually be a teacher and actually show some care to the students.
The profession. Respect.
And you respect it. Then on top of that, these teachers, they're not local. They're not part of the community. When I was growing up where I'm from, my teacher was family, damn near. Now my family still knows him because he's actually family. Like, man, no, he's like third cousin and shit. Or your parents, that teacher taught your parents. The teacher knows your parents. So there's some kind of familiarity and a kind of closeness between you, the teacher, and the children that they're teaching because there's a sense of community. Now, these men are just looking for a way to pay off their student loans. They don't really care. They don't even really like children. They don't want to be around them.
What worse yet, in the UK, there was a teaching charity. I don't know if it still runs or it goes by another name now, called Teach First. And basically what Teach First would do is they'll go into like a uni, so it's like last year uni, and then they'll see, you know, do you guys have a plan what you're going to do after university? And then if certain of them said, nah, I'm not too sure, they'll put them on like an intensive 6-week course. And then the following September, they're in the school. So someone who never really wanted to teach, there was just this job opportunity that came up. So then for that person, it's just a job. They don't, and they only are contracted to do it for like 2 years or something. So there's, I'll just do this for like 2 years. And then from that perspective, you're not there. That person isn't keen to teach.
You don't like children. Half of them don't even like children, bro. They're just there getting a paycheck. And that affects, because if it was you, you expect that your children are going to, if you're not going to be there to love your children, you expect that whoever's looking after your children has some kind of care or love. And like I said, when I grew up, I'm from the islands. All my teachers, they had you could see, I remember, they had a vested interest in you as a person because they know you, they know your family. Like, they treat you like you're one of their children. They'll discipline you that way too because they care about you. Up here, these teachers don't care about your kids. They're there to just make sure they don't get in trouble. They'll fake the smiles, man. As soon as you're gone, my child tells me they're not like that. They're only being like that because you're there. As soon as you're gone, it's like, sit down. You know what I mean? Like,
I would trip. And it's like, because I remember there was a certain time when I used to use the dating apps, and then I was looking, and it'll be like teacher, and then you're looking at the pictures, you're like, you're a teacher,
bro. Bro, the whole system is messed up. So the children in a robotic system, man, we could go on for 8. That's what I'm saying. We could be here and hold a camp and just analyze the whole society across the board, and we'll be here until the kingdom comes. Just going into every way that is working against the people, man.
Says Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Then on top of that, they got to be filling the children with woke values and all kind of madness. They got to teach them every religion. That's more important. Making sure they learn about every religion and all kind of foolishness, man. Make sure they learn that you can have 2 dads. No, you can't. You can't have 2 dads. Maybe if you got a granddad and a dad, but you can't have 2 dads. Yeah. That's not biological. Don't know. That's nowhere in science, and a damn sure shouldn't be social either.
That's what I was saying. So when I saw the picture of that particular board, I was just there like, you are only teaching your students weird shit. Because it's like I saw her and I was like, this is a hoe. It's like, imagine she's teaching your daughter that. Like,
bro, we had a witch, remember?
Yeah.
And damn, her name was Crowley as well, man. If man knew what we knew, I swear, I'm remembering it wrong. Is it Crowley or Crowley? But I swear it's Crowley.
It's kind of cool.
She was kind of cool, but that's how they get you. Dude, my big hard-grid ginger bitch.
Outwardly witch, yeah.
Yeah, she was straight up a witch, man. Like, what the hell? That's madness.
That's a question. And they now they're teaching the school though. More suspect, isn't it? But I got to say here quickly. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12 Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Right? We stand against this world and everything it stands for. Everything that the wicked are doing, man, is incorrect. Right? Because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. Because everything is fucked up as shit. Right? And wicked.
Yeah, we don't agree, and that's gonna come out more and more when you see them ramping up the states to come after people who disagree. This is what they're preparing with the whole Charlie Kirk thing and all that. Really, what they've done, the cancel culture and the government getting involved, is eventually the state is going to be able to say what's right and what's wrong. And if you don't agree with what the state says, you're an enemy of the state. You're an enemy of Earth. You're an enemy of humankind. Or you don't agree with our draconian climate change laws.
What's that?
Yeah.
Georgia was 1984, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Ministry of Truth.
The Ministry of Truth.
They're setting the tone, the standards for what truth is, man. Even though it's fucking wrong. How many fingers
Yeah.
are holding up?
Yeah.
All that shit.
Then
You
that's
know?
what they're. Oh, it's hate speech. You can't disagree with this person, or you're radicalizing someone. And all of that stuff is ultimately gonna fall on us, because ultimately we're against this society and everything it stands for. So they're gonna be like, yeah, these lot are, they're against
These are the
life.
first.
Oh, they don't want you to have abortions. They don't want you to have freedom of religion. You're damn right we don't believe in freedom of religion. Why would we? Because the Bible don't. In the kingdom of heaven, there's not going to be freedom of religion. Right? The Bible tells you, and I'm not saying you should go out there and kill anyone. That's the disclaimer. But the scriptures tell you, even if your own mother was to come and try to sell an idol to you, you're supposed to snitch.
Yeah.
You're supposed to. Yes, we believe in snitching in the Bible, man.
Yeah.
If your brethren come to you and say, "Yo, down, see, got this Baal thing, man. You know what? The Baal thing is the hell no, brother. It's the in thing, brother. You gotta come over to this Baal business. You're supposed to be like, all right, cool, brother. Yeah. I'm gonna meet you. Over there. Make sure you bring that idol with you. You know what it was there, like they might go to the elders like, yo, he's bugging, man. He's bugging. They gonna come and then they're gonna do what the scriptures say to do. Now, no, we're not saying you go to work and a man's trying to introduce you to the enlightenment of Allah, like you're supposed to go kill the guy. I'm just telling you that in the scriptures, according to the law, there is no freedom of religion. There's only freedom, liberty to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So we're against everything that this society is about.
They're trying to push on us.
Yeah, man. No, we don't want to accept Batimanism. We don't want to accept it. It's not acceptable to us. Oh, you know, whatever they do. No, it's not their business. It's my business.
Yeah, but that's how it became so pervasive. Because I remember back when I was in school time, you never really saw modes like that. But that was a mantra that you'd, as long as they're over there. But
this is our world you're affected.
Exactly.
You know, we're breathing the same fucking air, man.
Bringing that freaky demon around here. Next thing you know, man, they're doing all kind of foulness, bro. Because they got freaky demons on there.
Quick one. We're talking about freedom to love the Most High. Point that I want is at the end. It's Proverbs 8:36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that hate me love death. So,
there you go. So they're talking about liberty, but their liberty isn't real liberty, because we're not at liberty to be righteous. They want to be at liberty to do wickedness and control everybody, man. And we don't believe in that. The only liberty that we're dealing with is the liberty which is in the Lord, man, which is to do what's right, which leads on to life.
And it's funny, man, because you know the whole Trump thing, and he was put in place because he believed in freedom of speech, and
now he don't.
Now he's controlling what that freedom is.
He's doing worse than what Biden did, because man's literally going. And then the reason they set that up, so you got to understand psychological operations. They set up for the people to not trust the mainstream media. So now when he's clamping down on the mainstream media, it's like, yeah, go get them. But really, what they're doing is they're setting up. You're clamping down on the media. So once you do that, then you could just do that wherever you want. You can now just say, oh, this person's not saying something that, oh, his rhetoric is radical.
Fake news.
So if you come out and say, I'm against this part of the, oh, he's a radical. He's radicalizing me. Or if you don't want them V's, you're a radical. Because technically speaking, like, if you're saying that the V's damage you and cause medical harm, now they could say, well, you're radical because that what you're saying could cause someone, if their child gets damaged, they could say, oh, this person damaged my child, right? And they go kill them. Now they can say, oh, it was you, because you told him that Bill Gates and the doctor damaged their child. So when they went and killed that person, it was you. And that's what this whole Charlie Kirk is. They're saying that if you spoke against Charlie Kirk and right-wingism in any way, shape, or form, or anything, and you said, "Oh, them man are Nazis,"
you
or
incited
you
that,
said, "I don't rate them man," or you said that them man are this, that, and the other. If some allegedly some furry trans activist guy decides, well, if they're doing this, then to me, I can go kill them. They're saying that you're culpable. That's what they were saying. Or everyone that was saying mean things about Charlie Kirk, they're the reason he got killed. Now that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
So now, if we're saying Donald Trump is the devil, and a man goes and kills him, I'm not saying they should. Now all of a sudden they say, well, you see, they radicalized man because they said the devil. Or if I say that man they want to chip you and put you in slavery. Oh well, the reason they went and killed him is because they thought you were going to chip him. So do you see where they're going with this thing? So if you have a belief or you speak against the system, they can say, well, you're a radical now. You're radicalizing people. So when you point out, oh, they're doing this against you, they're doing this against your children, they're putting this in your children's brain. Oh, we're all of a sudden we can be used the buzzword. They're radicalizing people. You can only be for. You can't be against. It's BS.
It proves that they're not for freedom of speech.
Which proves they're not for freedom of speech and they're not accepted.
Yeah.
And they just want to defend whatever the governmental position is. That's what this whole thing with Charlie Kirk is designed to do, is to allow the government to now start clamping down on everyday citizens using the terrorist infrastructure. And we told you this. We said, look, when they start talking about cartels or terrorist organizations, you're now fusing the terrorist counter-terrorism infrastructure with the police infrastructure and the military infrastructure all into one. Now, how do you treat a gang in New York now? You can technically start using the terrorist, so all that surveillance technology can now apply to you. Now they're saying Antifa is a terrorist organization, which is a political group. So really, in the end, all forms of criminality can just come under one banner. It's all one thing, and we're gonna use all the powers of the state, the military, the police, the counter-terrorism, all in one to just get everybody. Oh, you're on the internet talking about Trump? Or you're talking about Biden? You got a problem with you're radical.
Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that will send a famine in the land, for the famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of your house.
Right. Eventually, they don't want no one to hear, because what we're teaching is against Britain. It's against America. It's against all the powers that be. We're against the elites. We're against whole nation of people. Without no chance of redemption, because we're not saying the Edomites we can find a middle ground. There is no middle ground. They're going into slavery, and then they're going to be exterminated according to the Bible. So that's why we're stressing to you that believing in this gospel, right, ain't no joke. Eventually, the world is going to come after us. They're already setting it up. Now, you need to ask yourself, you really believe in this thing? Are you ready to stand on it unto death? Or you want to be with the world? Because the world's going to make you choose. You know what, man? I don't know about all that Edomite stuff. I just want to live. Because it's all cool when you're on YouTube commenting on the videos, right? But understand, when you leave that comment and you go, hey, Shalom, Ark, the algorithm's already put a flipping, yep, he's one of them. So when they bust in your door now and they're like, oh, you're one of these guys that's anti-Britain. You want Britain to be destroyed by nuclear fire, right? Is that what you believe in?
A lot of these guys on these comment boards, man, you're lukewarm, man. Those are not actually participating in the ministry. They're just on the comment boards, doing the cheerleader thing.
You better be ready to defend.
Yeah. But if you're not really doing the ministry, that means you ain't really on it anyway. You're quite happy to disappear. I didn't believe that in the first place.
I'll say this: you better be ready to defend it. We're not saying that anyone because there are people that are gonna. You'll have to face your test. But there's guys that teach, that think it's a joke too. Because it's all good and well because everything's fine. You could go, you could teach, go to work, take kids to the park. There's going to be a time when what we're doing is going to become super illegal and they're going to come after, man. At that point is what we're going to know. Are you going to turn your back on it and say, you know what, man, I didn't really mean none of that. I was just acting. You know what I mean? New World Order is a great idea, but you know what I'm saying?
We don't hate you, the much. God does. God does.
All of a sudden, you start cleaning up what it is to be an Israelite. Oh no, we're not one of them radical Israelites. No. Those are them radical Israelites. Yeah. We're not one of them radical ones.
Well, no, it's Saving Nate's doing. They're black Hebrew Israelites. Do doing the flipping the script.
They're
Yeah.
already setting themselves up to be
Semantics.
incorporated.
Yep, yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So you have to take this thing very seriously because they're actually before our eyes setting up the framework where this gospel is going to become part of the what is not allowed,
So,
what you can't spread on social media, what you can't speak.
just to make a point, it's like you get those other accounts like Nate saying like they're different. But when you look at the case of the tea thing, when he would speak about Muslims, he didn't break down that we like the Shias, we like the Alawites, he didn't break it down by sects of Islam. He just said Muslim, right? So all of this, dilly-dallying about, oh yeah, that camp, this camp. Look, man, you might as well just be with the right camp because he's gonna paint that brush on you. Just say black Hebrews, like he ain't gonna go do the breakdown.
These men say that America is going to be destroyed, and that's going to be enough for the public to be like, yep, they're one of them. They're some terrorist group.
Well, look how mad them people have been. Like you have the workers doing their work, taking down the British flag, just taking down the flag.
Yeah,
They're being brought down for their ladders.
So this is a real thing. Man should consider that the same thing that brings us salvation, the same thing they want to condemn us for. So it's a beautiful thing. So you need to be sure whether this gospel is for you, whether you are ready to defend it unto death, you're ready to die for it, not kill for it, whether you're ready to die for it. But we don't believe in going out killing no one. That would be easy. Are you ready to die for it? That's what's hard.
Life on the line.
Your life on the line, man, because it is on the line, and the AIs are documenting everything. Don't think you're
He's your friend.
in your WhatsApp groups when you're talking about Esau, they ain't got all that documented. Everything we've done is documented, and they're gonna use it against us. I already know that, so I'm not really. I know what the time it is. Man, are deep in this thing. Man, are deep in it, blah blah. You man, you got how just know that you're deep in it. Even with spending time watching this video, they have an algorithm. Man came back and watched another one.
This is the internet gives people a false sense of anonymity, right? People think that they're actually, that's why you get them Edomites or these fucking whatever. They think that people don't. It's like, bro, Esau, no.
Palantir's already got. They can already put together who you are.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point of accessing everything.
Yeah.
So they can put two and two together. Okay, my man's phone's there next to this computer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's him. You know what I mean? That's what the whole point of Palantir. They could start zeroing in, man. So even if you use anonymous name and all that, they could figure out it's you.
Yeah. Location.
Yeah.
They've shown us.
Yeah, they could do it, man.
It's the book of Isaiah 32:7. The instruments also of the child are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Even when the need speaketh life.
That's right. They're gonna lie about us. They're gonna paint us as the evil ones when they're trying to enslave the worst thing about it is that these men that's coming with the righteous authority are the biggest enslavers and the murderers that there is. This is the facts. The world is the way it is because of them by design. But they're gonna come with the self-righteousness of it's always gonna come from the point of view of we're trying to save the world. Oh, we're trying to save the climate. We're trying to do when no, they're not. They're just trying to enslave you. And they're using these things as an excuse.
Going back to the school conversation, though, that's why Esau has it in that way, because people no longer critically think, right? Instead of, because it's when you really take a step back and you watch what these men are doing, you realize that there is an agenda that they're working to, but he has everyone just too busy with work, too busy with all of this other stuff, right? And they never got that training from a young child to look and analyze critically at what's going on, that they just take it.
But this is the thing, you can't believe that someone so smart could be so stupid. All these elites that all these in higher places and go to private schools, you can't believe that they're this fucking stupid.
Incompetence.
This is design.
They like to blame incompetence.
Yeah, it's
And they get a new treasury and they come in and they mash up the economy and they say, oh, she was incompetent. No, she wasn't.
You don't even get up that high.
It's like what's happening in America right now. They brought in Scott Bessent, which even Scott Bessent being in Trump's cabinet shows you that the right, yeah, is a bunch of closet homosexuals. That's why I always say, look, man, don't think the left, they're just, I'm coming now. The left represents coming out and being loud and proud. The right just represents being in the closet. Because if you think that the majority of these right-wing Edomite men are not on the cowboy, what do they call it? The Brokeback Mountain thing, then I don't know what to say to you. They're like, you know, Edomites, bro. They be in the closet like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be with the she-males, they be right-wing and then they go into Thailand, bro. They just don't like it being publicized out in their face, right? But how is it that Scott Bessent, yeah, can be the Treasury Secretary of Donald Trump, but he's supposed to be against LGBT? Then why is your economy being ran by a straight-up flamer who has a husband and 2 adopted children? Isn't that supposed to be everything the right wing is against? And none of them said, wait, hold on, bro. Ain't there another economist that's as qualified to do the job?
I came across this the other day, man. And basically, they got IP address, innit? So it's like when these men are searching for their entertainment, like they found that, oh, bro, the red states like that kind of entertainment.
Of course they do. They're just in the closet with it. That's why it's called spiritual Sodom and Egypt. The right has no morals. The right just has a stance that they used to portray it. It's like I like to be seen as this. That doesn't mean that's what they actually are. And that's why you're seeing that Trump is able to do certain things and get away with it.
But the Greeks did the same thing. The Romans did the same thing. Yeah. They had their wives when they had their boys. You know, but the right thing was to be out in the open with the wife. You know, but they knew, you know,
they're in the closet, man. They're 100% in their closet individuals. That's why there is no righteous side in this divide. The left and the right are both wicked. It's just what flavor of wickedness that you want to go with.
Yeah, it's all wicked.
They're all wicked, man. 100%.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 10. So blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
Yeah, because them right wingers ain't on our side. They don't believe in what we believe.
The left not on our side, the right's not on our side.
Fire for all of them, and that's why we're outside of the state. We're really the #1 public enemies of Esau because we don't incorporate ourselves into the spirit of the state in any capacity, whether it's on the left or the right. We're outside of that. You say the Bible said, turn neither to the left or to the right.
Because this is it, man. Because we're only for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. 100%. That's all we're for.
So that means we don't. If some Messiah rises up from among the ranks, we're gonna pick one. When you pick the lesser of 2 evils, you're demoralizing yourself. That's why most times, right, when these right wingers get confronted by all the BS Trump does, the way they work around it in their mind is, what? So what? You would have?
Biden do this?
So you think Kamala would have? It's like, huh? So your justification for choosing a guy who's also evil is there's someone else that you think is more evil. Choosing the lesser of 2 evils is choosing evil. So you automatically have demoralized yourself. You have no moral standard. A real righteous man ain't gonna choose between Satan and Beelzebub.
Exactly, yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. It's like, which one you want? Satan or Beelzebub? Oh, give me Beelzebub because I'm righteous. No. How about no? We're not choosing any. Them man can go suck rocks, but that's how the whole system is designed, and they're all morally bankrupt, and they're all working against you.
Yep.
And we're against them in the spirit.
That's right. Verse 12, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecute they the prophets which were before you.
Everything we teach is against them, man. Everything. We're completely against this world. Completely. To the point where we're going to go back to the scripture. We agree with it being dissolved wholeheartedly. Hey, listen, brothers, we like a bit of boxing, but the Hall of Fame, everything. Dissolve the whole thing. The boxing's corrupt. Football's corrupt. Yeah. The whole sporting world is corrupt beyond belief.
Satan's involved.
Everything's corrupt, man. Just dissolve the whole thing, man. Liquidation is what's necessary. It's irredeemable. There's no part of it in the Bible. You got the law on if a house has leprosy, and if the house has leprosy, what does it say? You take the whole house down and you dash away them stones and you don't use them for nothing. That's this world. This world has leprosy in this house. So you gotta break it all down and use new stones to build a new house.
And this is what all the fire's for, man. To cleanse this planet.
That's it.
You know?
So we ain't gonna do what other kingdoms did and incorporate the infrastructure of the old kingdom into the new. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I like the way the house, the treasury. Oh, you know what? Let's keep the international monetary fund. Oh, you know what? Let's use the pound and that pound system.
Or that building was nice. Let's keep it.
Nah, it's
Clean up
alright.
a little
Boom, 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 boom.
bit. Shock and awe.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna have to be. You got that? Oh, you got
No,
something?
no, I think
It is?
no.
Okay, good. Then we'll go back on these things should be dissolved.
This is 2 Peter 3. That's off in verse 3. But coming day of the Lord. It says, knowing this verse, but there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts.
And we see that in this world that we have, man are lost into all different philosophies, and mainly that's down to this devil. Listen, this devil has created a system of earth, yeah, which is against believing in this.
Yeah.
Even the people who claim they believe in this don't really believe in this. Because guess what? If you believe there's a stone age, you don't believe in the Bible. If you believe there was an iron age, you don't believe in the Bible. But I guarantee you go to most Christians, you say, was there a stone age? They say, yeah. Oh, yes, you show me the stone age in the Bible. Because it says Cain and them, man, were artificers in bronze. So when was the stone age?
Cut.
Oops.
Once again on a school thing, I remember from a young age, was RE religious education. They were from a young age pushing that, well, the Bible is true. And then what about science? And then all from a young age were making question
Yeah.
scriptures.
And what do you get tested on in school?
Science.
What do they really base your life on? Science. Even though real science is not against the Bible, but the false science that they invented, like for instance, the what's known as prehistory. They don't bomb the clock prehistory.
Well, even this, to assume that the whole world operated in one type of form of craftsmanship is
And all at
ignorant.
the same time, yes.
It's ignorant. Obviously, knowledge is isolated in different places where things are.
Yeah.
But people have different
They
knowledge
can
of
choose to use stone if they want, while next man are using iron. But
glass or, whatever the case may be. To say that everyone was using the same thing at the same time for a period of time is
But-
just dumb.
if you could believe Esau's story, then you can't believe the Bible, because according to the Bible, Cain and them man
He's mad.
were artificers
Yeah.
in not just. Because remember, if you go into metallurgy, the highest form of metallurgy is smelting metals to create alloys. Now, if you follow Esau's ages of man, you got the Stone Age, I believe, and then the Iron Age.
Bronze and iron, isn't it?
No. Bronze is higher level metallurgy, but that's alloy.
That's what I.
But even on that, what you point made before, it's like the thing. He given that idea that everyone using the same things, like different things are available.
Different
to
parts of
different
the
things. Because I was one of the
That's
things
why you can only get certain things in certain areas, right?
Exactly.
So depending on where you live, what skills you have.
because that's one of the things, which even then it's like you need to do more research on it, but it's like how certain scripts are curvy and certain scripts are lined. So if in certain places where they would like chisel onto rocks, that it's easy to draw a line, they will draw lines. Whereas in certain places where maybe they were more wrote on like leaves and stuff like that, papyrus and all of that, it's easy to draw curves. But those languages are curved. But it was just what was available in your region, right?
That's it. The same place, same thing we do now. Like this, we get steel and all these different things we get from certain places in the earth. We don't just get Britain ship for most things. Let's be honest, just important thing anyway. Well, we're potatoes, yeah, right? Potatoes, right? But there's things in the earth that are not native to certain places. So you obviously deal with what you got. Yeah, stones and rocks are everywhere, innit? But then you find
Better
you
stones.
find metals in the earth, just like you find rocks in the earth, right? And so you can work with metals. Oh shit, what's this? Oh, this is this is better. I'm gonna work with that. But then that knowledge is only known with that person. or that family or that region. And them man over there don't know nothing about that yet. Because you ain't sold it to them yet. Because that's how trade, that's how you get things, right? You trade. You know, oh shit, what's this? You know? And then you start getting it, you send more man over to that region and you bring stuff back. Yeah, that's backwards, you know?
Right. Okay, so this you're right. It's,
Oh,
it's the Bronze Age, then the Iron Age.
Okay.
Right. So you got Stone Age, which is supposed to be 500,000 to 2,000 BC. Right. So they were just, you know, for hundreds of thousands of years, they were just only using stone. And then you get the Bronze Age, which is 2,000 to 700 BC. But that don't add up because in the Bible, during the time of Canaan, they had bronze and iron. Yeah. Then the Iron Age they're saying is from 700. That don't make no sense. But you see, if you believe Esau's story about prehistory, now when you go into the meaning of prehistory, it means before history was recorded. But there is no time in history that's not recorded. Recorded history is real history, and it's recorded in the Bible. That's it.
All that pseudo history. Prehistory, pseudo history, they make it up.
Let's make it up. 500,000 years ago. Oh, where's the proof of that? Oh, it wasn't recorded, but
Some geological rock formation.
you know. So that's why you got history in the Bible. It said the principal thing of a man's life was iron. So there was no Iron Age. Hold on, let me see. Right. So this is Genesis 4:22. Right. It says, and Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. So the men back then were already dealing in brass and iron. So where did they get this whole thing about, oh, the Stone Age? No.
And as well, people think that Esau's science infrastructure is independent, right? They think that, oh well, the whole thing about science is anyone can go and do the research, and then they have this idea of peer review. But what they don't understand is Esau at the top of it sets which scientists can get the funding to do certain things, right? So, like for instance, during the CV, right, you did have a group of people being like, yo, these juices, right, we probably shouldn't be pushing them out, or frame it like that, right? But guess what? Though they got a blacklisted and stuff, and you know that sort of stuff.
That's complete.
Right. And that's the thing. Esau's science infrastructure isn't independent. It's very controlled, but they give the illusion.
Yeah,
that
because when you go back to the Illuminati, the Lunar Society, the people who were part of these witchcraft fraternities were also simultaneously heads in science during that time. So you got the Lunar Society, which is Darwin's uncle was part of that. They infiltrated the Royal Society and started pushing false sciences, like for instance, George Lyell. He wrote the principles of geology, where you get the ideology that the geographical formations we see around us formed over millions of years. That was the theory that he put out there, and it became the basis of the main knowledge in geology. Became a fact when it's not a fact. But he was a witch and a warlock, so it's like, yo, if we could convince people that the Earth was over millions of years, that goes directly against what the Bible says. So if we tell them that that's science, now it's science versus the Bible.
Yeah. Okay.
And get man to choose science when that's not science.
It's because they pushed up with Galileo as well. It was like, oh, the church used to say the earth was flat. Oh, some nonsense. But then about Galileo, he challenged that and he was blah, blah, blah for all of that nonsense.
Yeah, it's another lie.
The scriptures are plain. You know, the sphere of the earth. That's right. So we do there.
But this is how Esau does it. So growing up in this world, you're more likely to believe that God is a fairy tale, or it's just something that you say you believe in, but ultimately you know that in your mind you're like, what? Science. And most Christians are in this boat because they go through their whole life learning what? Evolution. You know what I'm saying? And then they try and make it work. It doesn't work. You watch flipping Jurassic Park as a child. It's messing your brain up. The dinosaurs was millions of years ago. Most men believe that. So you can't believe that and believe in the Bible. You know that.
Yeah.
You can't believe that it was dinosaurs in the Jurassic period 65 million years ago and believe in the Bible at the same time. Both of those things don't go together. But your kids are every time they turn on the TV or watch something, that's going to be pushed on them.
Being reaffirmed.
It's reaffirmed all the time. So it affects your worldview. So you start seeing the Bible of,
Storybook.
it's a nice book, but stories, really, isn't it? But it's not exactly accurate, is it? You know what I mean?
Okay. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 26. The principal things of the all use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, hand, milk, the blood of the grapes, and oil and clothing.
Like one of the lies that they've told is that people have gotten exponentially smarter than they was before. But that's a lie. During the time before the flood, they had technology, man. They had technology. They weren't stupid. They weren't ooga boogering around. Ooga booga. That's what they want you to believe, that the further you go back in time, everybody was just ooga booga. That's a lie, but that's not that true. But they want you to believe that.
Flintstones and that.
Ooga booga. Man in the time of Cain, ooga booga. Ooh, ooh. No, man, that man had tech. It was just like today. But they got destroyed by a flood. Because what would happen today, even with all this technology that these men have, if the fucking heavens opened up, and all the ground opened up and water just flooded the entire earth? Well, you think the technology was, man, in America with a mobile phone or airplane, I'm in the air, bro, you're dying in that airplane, bro. Everyone's dying, bro. There is no technology for that. That's a world-ending cataclysmic event, man.
Yearly extinction level event.
It's madness.
Well, these man just afraid from an EMP. Set man back to the Stone Age. As they
But
put it.
they had technology back then. The Egyptians had technology. They had certain things that even to this day, Esau can't break down.
Because like say if you would discuss like Gaza right now, you'd be like, bro, what are these man in this story?
It ain't
There's
nothing.
no tech there.
Remember, them man were living for hundreds of years. They weren't idiots, man. They were learned.
Esau also said, because it said water, fire there, because I was going to say that. I know Esau says that there was a time before man had fire.
Again, reinforcing the ooga booga thing. Ooga booga.
Yeah, but these times it's like fires is just a natural thing. It's like the Lord has, like, he makes it seem like a forest fire is a bad thing. Forest fire is very important to the natural habitat. So it's like these man see the forest fire and just be like, "Right, what's good?" That's what Esau wants you to believe, isn't it?
They find artifacts that are made of alloys. Aluminium they found too, which you can only make aluminium through electrolysis, which means at some point man was dealing with electricity.
Or you had the Baghdad battery.
The Baghdad battery. There's a lot of things, bro, that they found in the ancient technology that's just broken down. But Esau, he's a devil.
Well, sorry, I just want to. This is what it's basically saying, right? These ages, they're not widespread, but widely used. Didn't mean they didn't exist though. All these different uses, irons, metals for the time period they stamp on it, right? So I just want to read this from Google, right? I put in what age did Tubal Cain use? What I put in? Use bronze, right? And so basically the AI come back. The Bible mentions Tubal Cain in Genesis 4:22 as the instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron. While this suggests he worked with these metals, it is debated whether he lived during the Bronze Age, right? Which they label 33,000 to 1200 BCE, right? Before Common Era, right? Right? Or so he's before the time, right? He was using bronze and iron before the official time of the Iron Age, right? But just like we explained, these things existed. People were using these things. It's just not a widely spread thing because depending on location, depending on the man's skills, right? You wouldn't develop things you couldn't use. You know what I mean? But it doesn't say that they didn't know how to do these things.
And another thing you have to remember,
No one knew.
a lot of archaeologists, you can reference an artifact based upon, if it's found in like a Roman house that they built up, broken up. But if you just digging up an artifact in the ground, a lot of times they're just dating the artifact based upon what fits their narrative. Oh, okay, so this must be from the Bronze Age because it's bronze. Like, no, bro. Like, what the hell are we doing here? No, and that's what people don't realize. There's a lot of circular reasoning that goes into archaeology, just like with the geological columns, geological column is not real. They just made it up. Oh, that's on the Jurassic. Huh? No, they just made that up.
I was thinking about this yesterday. About how I remember about how basically you've got like this idea of dragons, like in all of these different cultures that were so far apart. Yet they all mention dragons, whether it's in Wales, whether it's in East Asia, or whatever, what have you. So like they all speak about dragons. But he will have you believe that was
Millions of
millions of years ago.
Even with men, right? The West is so advanced, you know, America's so advanced in technology. When you go someplace where they got none of that technology, the age is the same. They live in the same era, but the technology is miles apart, right? That's all it is. It's just different parts of the earth that had different things, had different knowledges, you know.
But
That's
we
what
had
it
the
was.
Urim and the Thummim.
You know,
What technology is that? That's a TV. Man had a TV, the Urim and the Thummim.
You look at some of the tech China has out there, man, and you look
Where
at
in the
America. Well, I was saying to you the other day, but I find it because you know LAX, the Los Angeles airport, didn't have a subway connecting to the airport, so you could only drive to the airport. Which I'm like, for me, I'm like, wow, because you can take a train to Heathrow.
Yeah.
Like, but that's America's backwards that way, isn't it?
So even using the term Stone Age, right, which people use all the time, is a witchcraft in itself, because there is no such thing as a Stone Age, man. That if you believe in a Stone Age, that means you believe on Esau's ages of man, which means the Bible is incorrect.
Yeah.
You can't put the two and two. There is no Stone Age in the Bible. There is none. If there is, show me where it is in the Bible.
but they never explained that, like, you know, these Iron Age, Stone Age, where it becomes widely used, right? As time goes on, yeah, things become more widely used as they develop in that. But to say that people using iron didn't exist before, that's not true. You know,
Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value.
Therefore, they will frame things to forward their agenda. And like I said, a lot of their agenda is to get people to scoff at the Bible, to believe that the Bible is a fairy tale and something that you can't be relied on, but you can rely on them. When they're liars, they will frame everything how they want to frame it.
but you know what I saw this morning, right? Apparently, Einstein and Stephen Hawking were proven right today by this merging of a black hole that they recorded, right? And I was watching the thing on the TV, right? And it says evidence, right? This is on the thing evidence that these men were correct with their theories and shit, right? And I'm watching this little program there, and I was yet to see the evidence. All I'm seeing is bare graphics. Bare graphics. But where's the footage that you saw as evidence? Where is that? I want to see that.
They've never
I never
witnessed a
see
black
it.
hole. Black holes have never been witnessed. Black holes was in
It can't be witnessed, surely.
They're bringing it back.
and then they'll blame it on us.
That's what's
If
up.
you go into the realm of physics, I mean, we don't have to go too deep, but the physics on the higher realm doesn't match the physics on the lower realm. That's why they said they're looking for a equation of everything. That's because they're wrong. They're wrong. The whole aspect of physics and the strongest force in physics being gravity is wrong. Gravity is not a strong force at all. It's a very weak force. And what's proof of that? A child can lift up an apple. That means that child's bicep is stronger than the whole weight of the earth pulling on that apple. How can the whole universe be held together by fucking gravity if a fucking child could pick up an apple? It's not a strong force. But the only reason they have that is because they created a model where the size and the sun is the center and everything's moving around gravity. It's not gravity at all. It's electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is the strongest force in the universe. But they have to keep the lie going. So to keep the lie going, you have to come up with more fake theories to keep it glued together. And that's where they had to invent black holes. Oh, well, it's not working, so there has to be black holes to make it work.
To make the model work.
To make the model work. That's all it is. It's bullshit. No one ever seen one.
I remember watching, what'd you call it? Because I like the graphics. You know, watching
Yeah,
them.
it's the same with the dinosaurs. These graphics that say this happened and that happened. It looks like this. But where's that? That's not evidence.
Yeah.
Showing you what sex position is.
Man.
But like when Esau says evidence, he's just talking. He doesn't show you evidence.
Yeah.
He expects you to believe that what you're watching, the graphics is evidence. But you know it's not. It's in fucking
Yeah.
Photoshop.
It's because people believe each other. That's the thing. So I remember watching because people, oh, Brian Cox, the great Brian Cox. I was watching one of his documentaries one time, and he was layering different theories, and it was like, well, it was one of these four things. We think it was this one. Then we think it was one of these four things, which we think. And I was like, wait there. So if it wasn't that one,
Yeah,
that means you're everything on top of. But because he's Mr. Brian Cox, oh yeah, they don't question it. But it's like I said, but that's the thing. That's the difference between us and the rest of the world. Is we don't respect Esau like that.
And anyone that comes with theories that don't go with the status quo is ostracized.
But there are those
Yeah.
professionals,
Like the
and scientists.
electric universe guys, they don't get no play, man.
Yeah.
They get zero play.
Yeah.
Because
they're fringe.
they don't want them
Yeah,
guys, man.
French, that's the word.
Because it goes against the status quo. Because the status quo goes back to these witches and warlocks, and it's all based around creating a framework of the world that goes against this. So as soon as you start getting into science, you stop believing in the Bible.
You know what? It's deep, right? Because you know these science groups, right? They're the Illuminati, right? For science to be published and put in schools and stuff like that, it has to be peer reviewed, right? But if the peer is the devil, if the peer group is the devil, right? How do you expect for them things to come out and be told as truth? They're gonna say they're the truth, but it doesn't suit their agenda, right?
If it goes against the agenda, the peer review won't go through.
Doesn't matter how
Because they
smart
got they got their right amount of masons in place to
Exactly.
basically justify everything. I've got a quick one.
Okay, read quick. 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings. That's what I heard this morning. Profane babblings. Still, evidence. I didn't see none. You didn't show me none. Right?
Yeah, like evolution. Imagine there's a whole big framework set up against evolution. But if you actually study biology, it's impossible. On the root, like you don't need to go into the massive amounts of flipping information. You just need to understand that there's biological processes that are so complex they cannot come into being bit by bit. It's like me having a computer that fully works, but I'm starting with only the computer chip. But it's supposed to work. It can't possibly be that. It's like having a car and the only thing you have is the carburetor.
It's not
or
a bolt.
bolt, but it has to be a fully functioning car. But I'm gonna wait for all the little pieces of the engine to develop and come together. No, there's so many biological processes you have within your body that
And that's even worse.
have
Because
to
these
work.
things are not even alive.
no.
You know what I'm saying? These things are not actually alive. We are living organisms. And they have to be able to survive in this process of change.
It's too complex. The idea is it's almost what they want you to believe is like you can get a whole bunch of letters, throw them up in the air, and Shakespeare will land on the ground. That's what evolution wants you to believe. And then it will develop from Shakespeare into like, no, bro. And then there's random mutation. No, random mutations doesn't create functional organisms, man. Just like I can't just get throw something at a wall and a Ferrari design pops up on the damn. This is what they want you to believe.
I remember watching one thing, the Finding Nemo fish, and it was like, this fish it evolved the ability to not be killed by this poisonous shrub that it likes to hide under. And I was like, so wait, how did it ever survive? The first one would have been poisoned, died. Because all of the other fishes touch it and die. So what was special about this one that it evolved, and it didn't die?
Most biological processes, right, are in a loop. So, for instance, right, you've got the situation of like
No, finish your point. I want to make my own point.
Okay. So when you start, because I've actually studied biology, right? Say like, for instance, how you become a human being from like a sperm cell or whatever, right? You've got DNA, but DNA by itself cannot replicate. Your body has built into it enzymes that have to unlock. You got enzyme that's unlocking the DNA, and you got another enzyme that's copying the DNA. Then you got other enzymes that take the DNA strand, and it's like because remember, DNA is like it's just an instruction manual. So the DNA gets unlocked. They might create, I believe, they create like an RNA or something. Then another enzyme latches onto the RNA, right, and starts building proteins going up this RNA, right? How do you think about it? Now, this is going to cook man's noodle. If you only have a strand of RNA, and let's just say through some fucking miracle, some what they call them again? The ATAC, no, alleles. Is it alleles? Alleles or whatever, right? Through some miracle, you have a piece of RNA that actually codes for something. So let's say for some miracle, some RNA pieces came together randomly in soup somewhere in the ocean and didn't get oxidized by oxygen. Oxygen destroys everything. Yeah. Well, we don't even want to get into that. So you get this, you get this RNA. How does the RNA then create a protein? Because what's an enzyme? What is an enzyme? It's a protein. An enzyme itself has to be built. You see the point I'm making? In order, so we're in a loop that the only way we can actually operate is if someone created the enzyme and created the DNA, and now the enzyme works on the DNA to create more, and then you're in a loop that can't end because you understand?
It's like one of those complicated Terminator films.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't because life cannot exist with only DNA. You need the enzyme to build because remember the DNA is an instruction manual. You need something that's now gonna because like I said, you can go look it up. What happens is the enzyme attaches itself, and then what happens is it starts building. So okay, that says that bit. Okay, that bit. Next bit. Okay, this bit. The next bit. This bit. And then another enzyme will come, fold it all up together correctly, and now you've got a brand new protein, which itself might be part of another enzyme to build a big enzyme, which now has to work on.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Cells.
So once you understand the basics about how we work, you can't come to the conclusion, well, if you only had, by some miracle, a piece of RNA, then how did you get the enzyme to turn the RNA into more protein? Where did that come from? It's like having all car parts. You're not having an instruction manual for a car. Okay.
Now what? In my experience, it's like having the Windows disk, right? It's the DNA. That's like, okay, now make the thing.
You need a machine that's going to read it and then build it.
Yeah.
But the machine that reads and builds it, the instructions for making it is where?
The Windows disk.
In the DNA. So well, how does it work? The only way it works is if the Most High and the angels created everything that was needed in this closed system to replicate itself.
Well, it's like the chicken and egg, right? Scripture says, made the thing with the seed within itself.
Yeah. What came first, chicken and an egg? A chicken with an egg in it.
That's how Lord described it to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. And then before we even look at it from that, and that's the problem with biology, right? Is most people, because they do witchcraft on them, they never stop to actually think about what it is, the process that you're looking at, and thinking to themselves, well, no, that cannot evolve. You've already got a problem straight away because there's no enzyme. But they don't think about it. They just keep going. And then the average person doesn't understand biology, so it makes sense to them. Oh yeah, like it just evolved. RNA, DNA, whatever.
No.
What? No.
What is it? The one they'll get scoffed at, made to feel small. If someone was in the class, sir, are you gonna question all of that sort of
No,
stuff?
that's what they'll do. They'll ridicule you
Yeah, that's
when what you're saying makes perfect sense. Even when you go to the origin of life, what do they say? A lightning bolt struck somewhere, created a couple of building blocks of life, and somehow escaped oxygen and came together to make this first RNA thing. But they don't explain how it replicates itself. Because when you replicate DNA, it's a whole process. There's a bunch of enzymes that come in, unravel it, start copying it. So those machines that do that, because that's what they are, where do they come from? Did the lightning drop that off from Amazon Prime as well? How?
I got pretty certain. Genesis 1, start from verse 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth.
Yeah. So the Most High gave the instructions and the wisdom for the angels to create life. And life was created in such a way that it self-sustains itself. So an angel ain't got to come back down here and do nothing. we as human beings, we come together from one strand of DNA that simply replicated itself. And not only does it replicate itself,
Oh, this shit.
it,
Yeah,
it has the instructions to create all the different enzymes that our body needs. And it has enzymes to create enzymes. You know what I'm saying? The human body is, no, just life in itself is extremely complicated and amazing. But they have to simplify it. Oh, well, the first organism was a single cell organism. Now, how complicated a single cell organism is.
But from this, we get trees, we get all these different things.
Randomly.
Yeah, random generation.
Random region, random generation. And it's life. So evolution is not easy, not hard to debunk, even if you just look at it from a standpoint. No, this couldn't evolve from rocks. Because we're not just simply rocks.
Random things don't happen.
Exactly.
Trees produce trees. They don't become, they don't produce something else. They're all locked in.
Design. Yeah.
Design, they're all locked in. Random things don't happen. Talk about monkeys, some humans, and random shit don't happen like that, man. And I was thinking about this. You know, you got them man into the martial art techniques, right? I know Captain knows, right? Right. You know, you be hitting like I don't know, something metal, right? To harden your hands, right? And you know, you can all this mutation shit, right? Yeah, you can hit that piece of iron to your hand and calcifies. Yeah, your hand's a lot fucking harder now, but it's never gonna become a hammer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's never gonna become steel.
Man with the iron.
Yeah, like you were saying about the fish thing. Yeah, you can keep doing something until something works. Randomly, the man can keep punching that piece of iron all fucking day, man. It ain't gonna fucking work. His hand's just gonna be calcified.
You're made to everything on everything on earth that's biological is made to instruction and specific instructions. Now, and people don't realize you can have certain mutations, but it don't take too long outside of a mutation for something to not work.
Yeah.
And people don't even realize most mutations are bad for you.
Well, then you say because you're lacking something, not because you've got.
Yeah, it hardly adds anything new.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because of the way enzymes are. Enzymes are highly complicated connection of molecules. And if you fuck with that formula, you mess the shape up. Yeah. That's how people have sickle cell. They've got a messed up shape.
Yeah, it's like in copyright.
Yeah, it didn't copyright. You need a good copy. Now, you do have variations, but that's also built into the system the Lord created. Because you got something they call random recombination of DNA. And that's where when you got your DNA, which is what if you're a woman, you got the XX, and if you're a man, you got the XY, right? Now, when you create your gametes, you call gametes, something like that. When you create sperm or the woman creates the egg, right? It's not just a case of you take one of those X's and put it in a sperm. Or one of the white. No, don't like that. You have something called random recombination of DNA. So if it's two X's, those two X's will actually randomly swap. They'll swap over. Most people don't know that. Random recombination. They actually don't know how it works. Right? And it's the same thing. So that when you actually create, each sperm is unique. Yeah. It's not just a copy of one of your chromosomes. It's a mixture of both of your chromosomes randomly put together. Which is why you can have a child that has a trait that exhibits a trait that neither you or your partner has. But that's because it's a random recombination from your grandparents.
And it's the same reason why you can have multiple children like brothers and sisters, but they're not the same.
Yeah, it can be different.
They are different.
But that is by design. That's not happening. That random recombination is something that's designed into the DNA for that process to happen. Because where do all processes in your body come from? Your DNA, because it's by enzymes. The enzymes were made to do that. To order. Amazon styles. And that's what people don't understand about the human body. Everything your body's doing ultimately came from your DNA. It's already written in it. At this time, it can do this. I need this enzyme to do this. I need this enzyme to do that. So your body just replicates that and builds it. It's instructions for building. It's got timings, amounts. Everything is written in it.
Eye color, hair, everything. Height.
To get a certain eye color, that means you're producing a certain amount of a certain type of pigment. Where does that information come from? It's an instruction manual. It's like a ingredients list.
And not everyone's the same.
So it's not no evolution, man. Anyway, I mean, we could talk about it for ages, but in this world, they turn biology against in the way that they portray it against the Bible. And that's why when we was reading, they shall come in the last days scoffers, because this entire society, even America, this God-fearing society, is actually built to turn your mind away from the Most High.
Precept. Well, this is Romans 1:25, and it says, "Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator?"
So now you give credit more to men that invent things than to the Most High. Well, Elon Musk, man, he's a retard anyway, but Elon Musk, man, he's super smart. He's genius. He's gonna save us. Esau did make some goofy invention, and you think he's God now. Like he knows everything. He's figuring out, I could make man better. I could make the faster, stronger. Bro, I've got news for you. Men were always better. The Lord downgraded us, man, for wickedness, man.
Yeah.
And you think through wickedness you're gonna get that back? Fool. If the Lord wanted to design us to live forever, which He did, we would. But the Lord written in us now, man. You ain't getting past that. Let me adjust that code right there.
Which can I make a point on that? So it's actually very interesting, because despite Esau will tell you that our technology, was smarter now, but really when you look at it, in terms of life expectancy, man's not actually that much off what the Most High said, right? He's got all of these drugs and stuff like that. He'll make it seem like, oh yeah, man, like that's one of the things, life expectancy, which is an average, right? It's an average. He'll make it seem like, yeah, back in the day, men used to die at 35. It's like, no, that's an average. So if you have two children, one died at birth, one died at 70, your average life expectancy of the children is 35, right? But basically, he will make it seem like, because that's one of the things when people moved into the cities.
I was to say this, right? That average back in the older times, right, when things were like plagues were sitting around, these are not natural deaths. A lot of the time, they would die because they were under plagues and some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, the man died early, and maybe that might have been an average, but that's not the length of man, like generally. You know,
and now people are living longer. Yeah. Are they actually stronger?
Nope.
No.
True.
Most of these men go to any NHS hospital and peep everyone that's over 65. They're not really living, but they're just surviving, man.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was on the islands, bro, you see all like my great grandmother and all them people there, them man didn't even need canes, bro. And they were like 99. Like, it's just, move out the way. Like, them man would be carrying their own bag and all sorts, man. They were stronger. Now, if you're 99 now, you living to 99, but you're not stronger. You got 5 or 6 hip replacements, man.
Stole my stuff already.
Yes, bro, you're cooked. You're not living. You can't live by yourself. You're one trip away from. You need a 999 immediately. You're on permanent health care, basically. That's not living.
we don't have man this is though, right? Because yeah, Esau's got the drugs now. Like he can protect you from polio and all these different things, right? And keep you living longer, right? So they ain't saying, oh, we've advanced age now. We can live longer than that, right? But the whole reason why there's all these diseases in the first place is because of wickedness in the earth. And that's increasing. So Esau's having to produce these things just to keep going.
Bro, you're sicker for longer now.
Yeah.
You got so many people that have basically been sick from the time they were like 5, and the system is just keeping them alive.
Like a man that catch AIDS should be dead straight off, bro. But now we got medication that you can survive longer. Bro, you should be gone.
You're not living.
Witchcraft.
If you're living with sickness, that's not technically living. When the scriptures are talking about man living, they were living in their strength. Because how can a man be all like 400 years old, bro? With your joints turned now. When they were 400 years old, their joints were fine.
As is mush already, bro.
Yeah, they were fine. And the Lord could do that. Joshua had his full strength up until 60. That means he didn't have to retire at 32. Like. You know them ones. Like nowadays, even look at man nowadays, right? Look at these athletes, even with the peds, LeBron. even these men with the elite level peds, like LeBron James and these guys. Because don't make no mistake, these athletes, these super athletes that you see that are fucking they got these long careers, and they're like, oh, see, the athletes are becoming better than the athletes of old. You know, they've got that next level
Snack.
heads, that snack, yeah, that's got their man going for longer, right? But the truth of the matter is, most athletes, by the time they get up in their 30s, they're cooked. Their knees are cooked, their back's cooked, their hamstrings are cooked. They're just cooked. I seen Ronaldinho and them man the other day in a game, yeah. Them man are cooked with John Terry and them man. And them man are not that old. They're like 40 something, bro. Them man are cooked. You can't put them man out on the pitch. When it says Joshua had his strength when he was 60, it means just how he was when he was a young man, that's how he was when he was 60. Same strength, same agility. Most people can't run after 30. Sprint. So we're not improving. We're just alive. But anyway.
Got a precept after you. This is Genesis 25, start from verse 7. And it says, and these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived in 115 years, 175. But Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man, and full of years, and was gathered to his people.
Now, if you picture someone that's 175 today, you think that man are walking around like dust. Remember the Queen's mother?
She got United. She's 100.
Somewhere near that, but she looked like, no, she looked like she was dead 20 years earlier. You know what I mean? You're just a corpse walking around. Abraham wasn't no corpse, man. But most people can't picture that because Esau won't tell them that. So they got their mindset that the way things are today is how it always was. But that's not true. There was a time when the man was fitter, better, stronger, taller.
Sea level. They say,
That's a big thing,
yeah.
right? Because we're decreasing those sea levels right now, and it is directly affecting us, man. And those men back in the ancient time, their sea levels are high. You know,
They say we have a lot less tea. That our dads has less tea than we have less tea than our dads, and they had less tea than their dads.
Yep. And that has a direct relationship to our life, our quality of life.
100%.
You know,
But you go holding on to Esau. You have your head in a jar telling you it's life. See?
Doctor Who, man. Bro, something like that. Doctor Who was the character. His head was just in a jar, really.
That's his version of immortality. Head in a fucking jar. Anyway, go.
Finishing that.
Yeah, I finished with that one.
So Rock 30.
We still got more in Peters though, yeah?
Sirach 30, I'm going to start from 14 and read into it. It says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
Generally speaking, the majority of people, especially in the West, don't have a sound body. And you know why we know that's the case? What's one of the things people complain about? Healthcare. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not that intelligent here, but I would think here that if people were generally healthier now than they've ever been, then healthcare wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I think about it. Like if I'm healthy, I don't really care about healthcare.
man, everyone's probably vitamins or taking some type of supplement, right? Because they're not eating, right? Or the nutrients from what they're eating is not really giving them shit. So obviously you're decaying. And you're trying to keep yourself going with all these fucking supplements.
The other day, man,
medical checks.
man sending me a thing about knocking on my door talking about donate money to the great well, because these child diseases are out of control.
Yeah.
Not only is autism out of control, all kind of autistic kids and all that kind of thing, just general childhood diseases is way prevalent. Allergies, all sorts, man. People allergic to life. It's just crazy.
Wow. Yep, that's they call it SAD, standard American diet, man.
That's why the pharmaceutical companies are making so much money. If health wasn't an issue, the pharmaceutical industry wouldn't dominate the damn FTSE 100 and shit. But they do because people are not really healthier. They're sicker and they're managing the sickness. That's all they are. They're not strong in the body from children now. Most of these youths are ill. They got some kind of illness, man. Eczema or some crazy shit. Some off the wall shit that they got. Cancer. More and more kids have cancer. Leukemia. All kind of crazy shit, man.
When I was growing up, I'm not even that old. When I was growing up, the stat was 1 in 3 get cancer. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I saw an ad which was saying 1 in 2 now.
Going up.
It's going up.
Right? How? Esau's so great. He's on the frontier of science, you know, all this shit, but we're still getting sicker.
But this is it. When you look at like certain of them East Asian
I guess that's global climate change is a problem as well.
yeah.
You know, they probably just blame it on all kind of shit, man.
Yeah. Apart from him.
But the,
Exactly,
the
yeah.
fact is, it's just because wickedness is increasing on the earth. That is the reason why. Most like all these plays out here damaging people up because they're wickedness. But Esau, you know, he's a pastor. He's a pastor, you know.
That's it, yeah.
You know, I'll help you through this. He's a pastor. But you're still sick. You know?
Bare chronic diseases. How many people you work with, by the time they're the age 45, they all got chronic diseases, man. Hurt.
Bro, we're fucked. Bro, we're through, bro. You know what I mean? We're not even that at all like that, man. But we
Arthritis.
we got pains of old people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You know? Why?
Blood pressure.
But it's illusion. There's an illusion of the technology and you know, the man are really saving lives.
Overrated.
It's overrated, man. Like I'd rather not be ill in the first place than have a bunch of madness that I got to go through, man.
So that's the next verse for me.
Hmm.
This is Sirach 30:17. Death is better than a bitter life or continued sick.
And that's why more and more people are asking for what? Euthanasia.
Well,
Because
they
you got
legalized
bare
it.
people.
They legalized it in the UK recently.
Yeah, because there's bare man that's just living with sickness.
Yeah. And then that one, if I can say that one,
trying to join
I'm looking at it rather nefariously, because at the same time they're making it harder for the healthcare workers to be in the country, right? So then you'd have certain people, certain older Edomites, the only person they'll see is the healthcare profession. So if they're not here, then they're just in the yard all on their own, sitting in their feces and stuff like that. So they are going to choose them.
But this is the thing. Just on that point, there's not even enough people to look after the sick. Yeah, that's how bad it is. There's not enough people to look after the sick right now. There's that many sick.
Birth rate. The birth rate thing in the West. And then the white man try to blame someone but himself. Who the fuck stopped you from having youths, man? But immigrants come here, man's popping out. One bam, thank you, man. So you're telling me that like Saeed, yeah, from Pakistan can come over here and have 6 children, but there's a reason why you can't. The reason you can't have them children because you're a butty boy.
That's right.
Yeah, and you don't make it a priority because you're selfish and you want to live your life, and then you want to blame everything on the immigrants. Right? Oh, it's a white genocide. Nah, you're just a butty man. You come from a butty man culture. That's all it is. Bunch of closeted individuals, man, that don't want to read cows. You know how the thing go already, man. In the UK, if there weren't no immigration, the population would be gone. Would be done.
When you look at some, because I told you I did a thought experiment, man. When you look at how many years left a lot of these countries have, it's actually kind of scary. Like even Italy's doing quite bad. You know what I'm saying? It was like Korea's got like 70 years left. Japan and them's got like maybe like 90. Italy's maybe just got like 120 if everything was to stay the same, right? You would think in a righteous kingdom that those things would be like, yo, stop everything and breathe, isn't it?
Or design a society that makes it way easier to breathe.
Yeah.
But they don't. And it's not Jake that's stopping it, it's your own people, man.
Yeah.
Don't be blaming. See, they try and blame Jake for all the problems in the world. It's you.
Policy,
Yeah.
bullshit.
You know what I mean? Like, take some responsibility.
There you got something here. Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 52. Say unto, wherefore are unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but lesser stature. You know, again, just saying, you know, speaking on, you know, men back in the ancient world, man, were stronger, healthier. And yeah, you know, you put a bunch of people that die from plagues and shit, you know, they like early.
Plague is a plague.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The game is a game.
But that doesn't dictate how long a man should have lived in the first place. You know, a man's, you know, Lord tells you, man, Lord, the lifespan of a man is supposed to be 80 with strength. You know, that's a good healthy age of 80. But it's meant to be good healthy, like
As long as you've got good knowledge and wisdom in terms of hygiene, which our law is all about hygiene. In fact, for instance, when it comes to plague, quarantine is in our law. You know what I'm saying? It's in our law. Yo, keep that bear outside the camp for a week to see what's going on.
Yeah.
We got what they call it, man, in the medical industry. There's a name for it where you have like not a procedure, protocols. We got protocols to deal with disease, hygiene protocols, man. Because hygiene, lack of hygiene is a killer. A lot of times people were dying if they just didn't show simple hygiene, like when you're dealing with people, washing your damn hands.
Yeah.
Things simple as that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it weren't because them people, but generally speaking, the people, if they had proper hygiene, they lived longer, they were stronger, they were faster, they were fitter. Now, man, I got more calculations going on, bro. Go on.
Sorry, sorry.
Not everybody can have that Joe Joyce bone density. Go on.
And she shall answer thee that they shall answer thee that they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age. And we're at this time in the planet right now is getting damaged, man, and used up, right? And so everything that's coming from it is weaker.
But there's more monsters being born.
Yeah.
That's why more and more the youth. So with the word monster, menstruous women shall bring forth a monster. The word monster, remove the wokeism. A monster is an actual medical term. Look it up. A monster is a medical term for a
Same door, like
Yeah,
five
it's
times.
safe door knockdown.
But they're not in, bro.
that's them high IQ first worlders again. Anyway, it's got their own ring doorbell. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can see you. Anyway, what was I saying again? These dickheads.
Monsters.
Right. Sometimes when you break down the scriptures, you have to understand the way that the people that wrote it used the word, as opposed to how you use the word today. So because of Hollywood, when we think of a monster, we're thinking of a Hollywood version. But not understanding that a monster to people back then wasn't Hollywood. A monster was someone that was born deformed.
Yeah.
Like the Elephant Man. He would be considered not that one. Not no, that one. That's
Extraordinary people, innit?
that one.
Yeah.
He would be like, go to the circus and they'll have these people, the circus people, they were born with certain defects. Look it up. Even if you go to it online, it will tell you monster is someone that was born deformed. So what the scripture prophecy is actually telling you is that in the last stage, you would have loads of women that would be giving birth to monsters, deformed children.
Yeah.
Now tell me that's not what we're seeing today, especially if you include an autistic or Down syndrome child as a child that's deformed. Because they got fucked up chromosomes. Yeah, that's a deformity in the coding.
Yeah.
Cleft foots, cleft lips, 5 heads.
6 fingers.
That's a regular thing now. Like, that's not something that's rare. Like, oh, if I just go to school, there's like 20 of them in your school. So we are in that time where there's just bare like deformed people being born, man, with 2 heads.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? 8 legs. Especially because Esau and his nuclear testing.
yes.
Go to Japan, there's monsters everywhere. Vietnam, they don't have to show it on the TV, but even to this day, the rate that people are born in Japan and Vietnam and even Iraq with their fucking eyelids backwards. The man have got a nose where their chest is and all kind of crazy shit. That's the that is literally the definition of a monster.
Ganograku's talking about health. That's one of the things I remember looking into about how he will make it seem like, oh, it was his jabs or whatever that stopped like infant mortality. But there was a period of time where people were dying because of the cities, during the Industrial Revolution. This is from Science Direct. It says industrial cities were associated with contaminated water. So like, for instance, people used to just chuck bodies into the Thames and stuff like that, right? Substandard overcrowded housing, substantial air pollution, and exposure to a wide range of new pathogens, which could spread rapidly through the densely populated housing. Thus, epidemic diseases became a greater threat.
And this is what you saw exports around the world. He'll set up all these companies and polluted waters and shit. He got the CDC just releasing shit into the wild.
The water's glowing and shit.
You know,
The water's
Simpsons,
looking like
Simpsons.
Kool-Aid and shit, like, you know.
Yeah, Mountain Dew. You know,
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know? But that's what Esau does, man. So he is directly linked and responsible for the increase of these things.
Well, if you look up the term super site in America, those are highly polluted sites that they created in America, man. And there's loads of them. And man, anyway, yeah, go ahead.
But back here, 2 Ezra 5:53, and she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of you are one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you.
Yeah, we're not as strong, we're not as tall, you know, we're lesser than our ancient forefathers, man. It just is what it is.
And so, verse 55, and so are they that come after you, less than ye. And you can see that in young children and stuff, man. You know, I like my father, the things that he used to do is not what I'm doing. And you know, it's getting worse as time goes on. Children are more and more destroyed than they ever were.
Yeah.
You know, as we're going into.
Yeah, man. Bare
know?
problems, man. Knee broke up, everything broke up for no reason.
Man, I got the depression and they just kind of mash up.
Mash up.
You know, it says and so they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I found favor in thy sight, shew thy servant by whom thou visit thy creature.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. And that's a biblical worldview, but Esau's worldview would have you believe in something different. Like we're just shooting for the stars, baby. Everything's all good. No, it's not all good. It's gonna be all good when Esau is dissolved. But we still got Peter.
Yeah.
Let's keep going with Peter.
Yeah, we're so healthy, we need to be chipped.
Yeah, we need AI. We need AI
to monitor, you know.
But if man was healthy, you wouldn't need AI to monitor your health.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the whole thing isn't really about monitoring your health. That's a lie. It's just about having control over you and what you're doing. Esau don't give a damn about your health. He cares about controlling you and utilizing you as a slave.
He cared about, because that's one of the things, insulin is a big deal in the States. But it's like the guy that made insulin sold the patent for like $1. So like a vial of insulin here is like equivalent to maybe like $7. But in the States, might be like $70 for one vial of insulin. And the shit should be basically free. Right? But he cares about your health.
Hell to the fucking.
Back in 2 Peter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? But since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation.
Right. So what they're saying is like, man, telling us about the end of the world, but my great granddad was talking about the end of the world.
Yeah.
And we're still here. Hey, but that don't mean the end of the world ain't coming.
Yeah.
But to a lot of people, it's like, yeah, that's old news. Well, I got news for you. We in that time, because the final prophecies towards the end of the world are happening right now. So don't worry about your great granddad and what he thought. You better get locked in right now. Well, you got them scoffers, and they think that this Edomite joyride is going to just continue. It's not going to continue. We're at the end of this, man.
Yep.
And putting up the flags all over England ain't going to save you. Bunch of low IQ morons. And you know what I found out? Dagenham is one of the few councils that's going and actively putting up flags, which is quite funny because Dagenham is like the home of immigrants now. It's hilarious. Anyway, the irony.
For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water.
Right. Listen, we could go into like the deep explanations and man pick up the blade of grass and yo, you know, you got the chloroplast in there, the stoma, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we could go deep, you know. We could go hella deep if we want. Yeah, you know, you got the form of cell, it's got a cellular wall and all this shit. We could go deep. But as we're going deep into the nature of things, we need to remember one thing, that all of this, as much explanation as you have and detail and wisdom that you could get from the beauty of this blade of grass, is this came from, thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
You see? The core of what you need to understand that, yeah, we could, oh yeah, it's beautiful, look at that, the blade of grass and the beauty of it. It comes from the word and the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You understand what I'm saying? This is what the world is missing in the whole key. It's disconnected from the psychology of man by Esau. Thus saith the Lord. When you go back to the root and the cause and the power of all of this that we see in creation and how it was created, it literally sprang forth from the will and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let it be. That's it. But the world doesn't want you to think in that way. That's why they rather come with some big bang and some random combination and what? Hey, there's gonna be a big bang, all right.
Quick reset. It says Psalms 104, verse 24. O Lord Yahweh, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches.
Right. This whole realm, the Lord created a light. He decided that there was going to be light and dark. He decided there was going to be colors and how they interact with each other and what effect they have on this and that. The laws of science that we observe, the Lord writ those laws. He decided that that's how it's going to be. The Lord did that by his will. And he can rip it up if he wants because it's by his will. So then you need to understand that the same way the earth came by his word and will, and we're here breathing and interacting and lightning and electricity and all these different things, it's the same way he could say, yeah, and Esau, you're going into slavery.
Yeah.
The same power that made everything that you put your, you step on the ground, you don't, if you're just walking on the ground, you're sure that the ground's going to be there when you take the next step. You don't think it's not going to be there. You walk with confidence. You just walk. Because, you're thinking, well, what's the chances of the ground disappearing? And because there's laws of physics, right?
Yeah.
You operate in a world where if you run into a wall, you hit it. You're not just going to run through the wall. It's not going to disappear and you phase through to the other end. Because there's laws of the universe, right?
Yeah.
You drop an apple, it will hit the floor. You don't expect it to go upward.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? We trust in a world where we trust in the code that the Lord set up. Well, trust that in this code too, that when the Lord says something is going to happen, it's going to happen. It's luck.
Don't mention it, Papa.
Yeah.
Getting you a Bud Light.
Yeah. Respect, man. Respect. Man, you see, the Bible talks about the meek. The meek shall inherit the earth. Yeah. So you have to respect the word of the Most High because it was by the word that everything that man are boasting in, any knowledge that you could boast in. Oh, I know this. I know that. Oh, I understand how that works. Oh, why does it work that way? Well, it works that way because the Lord said it works that way. If the Lord never said it worked that way, it wouldn't work that way. Whether you want to break down gravity, mathematics, why does 1 + 1 = 2? 1 + 1 = 2 because the Most High said so. If there was another universe the Lord created, 1 + 1 could equal 3. What could you do about it?
Who's the actor, man? He's going around saying it don't.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, we operate in a world where you figure something out and you bank on it, right? Because that's how science works. You make something and if I pop an egg into a fire, what's going to happen? That's how you scramble your egg. You don't go to scramble eggs and think anything else is going to happen than what you know. Oh, okay, you apply heat to the eggs, the protein denatures, and it turns into a fluffy, lovely scrambled egg. Okay? But you forget that it only happens like that because the Most High made the egg and the fire and everything interact in that particular way. And you call that science, knowledge.
It's the book of Psalms 147 and 5. Great is our Lord, and of great power. His understanding is infinity.
The Lord understands because he created it that way. He made it to be that. That's the difference between us and the Most High. We learn about how something is, and we have to roll with it, whether we like it or not. But when it comes to the scriptures, now you want to try and change it, but it's no different. The scriptures is just as much science as if I throw a rock at your head, it's going to hurt. It's just as much science. It's an exact science. As much as 1 + 1 = 2, the prophecy is going to be what the prophecy is because it's all by the will of the Lord, man.
Wisdom of Solomon 7:16. For in his hand are both we and our words. All wisdom, also knowledge and knowledge of workmanship. For he have given me certain knowledge of the things that are namely, to know how the world was made, the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun and change of seasons, the circuits of years and positions of stars, the natures of living creatures and furies of wild beasts, and the violence of winds and the reasons of men, the diversities of plants and virtues of roots. All of that.
But
Honestly, we got check.
yeah, spirit, man. It's by the Lord why these things happen, and all we could do,
It's funny, just said the
the violence of winds,
With-
innit?
violence
But all
of
we
winds.
could do
Yeah.
is learn about it. But
Yeah.
why is it the way it is? The why behind the why is ultimately, thus saith the Lord.
Yeah.
Because it could have been anything else if the Lord wanted it to be that way.
Yeah.
Yellow could be blue and blue could be yellow.
Yeah.
You look at the different elements, it's amazing. If you study like carbon can be diamond, but it can also be coal, like graphite. Then it's the same thing. A diamond and graphite is literally the same element, but put in a different formation, and one is soft and brittle and black, and the other one's clear and the hardest material on the earth.
Yeah.
From the same material, but who made it to be able to? Not smart, but who made it that way? It was the Lord, but they trained the people to. Now, I ain't the Lord, but we know, so it's us. Let's take the credit. We discovered this.
Baruch 3 and 35. This is our power, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him. He has found out all the way of knowledge, and he has given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved.
But what's the foundation of that knowledge? The
Yeah.
Most High. That's the foundation, you know. But when you ain't got that as a foundation, your mind starts thinking that, you know, that you're the great one. You know?
And when you don't respect the source of knowledge, you get puffed up in pride, and that same knowledge comes around and destroys you, man.
But that's the thing, you never made none of these things that you go on about. You always discover about them, things about them, and things you still don't even understand about these things you found. You know, there's always something else that you find, oh, God,
That's another thing. People think they know everything in science. But really, when you go deep into science, there's a lot of things that they kind of know. Like for instance, there's a lot of
more unknown knowledge
Yeah,
than
yeah,
what
yeah.
actually.
like you know, like sometimes they'll like because I always love cellular biology, right?
Nerd.
You go with
Righteous nerd, huh?
badness. Anyway.
Bad nerd, you know.
Yes. When you go into the cellular biology, they might be able to explain processes, right? But if you did, and they might even show you a diagram or a, you know, what they call it, demonstration. But if you go deeper, they'll say we actually don't know how it actually happens. It just happens, but this is our best representation of what happens.
It's like that guy Tyson DeGrasse,
Oh,
or whatever
yeah,
his name. He'd always say
That-
he'd always say that these men are on the frontier side, which means they don't know everything, but they're asking these questions to find out these things. But the problem with this is that they're always asking questions. They never find an answer.
A lot of times it's deep to go into like how this is magical almost, like what's happening at the lowest level.
Yeah.
It goes into a next realm.
Yeah.
But most people think they know it all. They don't know it all. They don't know everything about the brain.
But the thing is, I think the scientists, they understand that, but people that believe in the sciences,
No, they don't.
they don't understand
Because
that.
of the way it's put to them.
Yeah, it's facts.
You know, and they don't understand that you could know something happens, but not only to a certain degree. When you get past a certain point, it's like, boy, I don't know how it did that, but we know it does it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the mechanism beyond that is like, well, we ain't got to that far to really know what's going on. You know?
So we know sperm, meat, egg, baby.
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen that? There was like a microscopic zoomed in of like the sperm meat and the egg. A flash of light. Bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Spirit,
Trippy, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
And the
Spooky,
post
bro.
spoke about that years ago,
yeah.
before that video came out.
Like on the microscope, you actually see the
Flash
flash of light. That's trippy, bro.
Spirit. Precept. Isaiah 55, verse 8 to 9. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Like even when you talk about science, you ever seen that science that did an experiment of like certain vibrations and the pattern it makes?
Yeah,
in water and
yeah,
ice.
yeah.
And how like, good
patterns.
words, good music and that puts a beautiful pattern, and then bad words or certain vibrations of frequency of music, lower vibrations, create chaotic kind of images.
Even with food.
Yeah, and then it makes you think about how music affects the body, because the body is mainly
Vibration.
water, vibrations.
Right, he sort of pushes out a certain type of music.
Yeah.
You know?
Frequencies. Right, and then even a child's mind. They talk about like vibration, how everyone's brain vibrates at a level. You got alpha, beta, gamma.
Yeah.
And I was talking about a child's brain when it's young, it's on the lowest vibration, but the vibration that is easier to learn the most between the ages of what?
5.
When they're born to 7. Like how they can pick up things.
Yeah.
But then after that, that's deep, because a child can pick up languages or become a genius at anything, man.
Yeah.
So that's the power of the Lord.
Yeah.
Like even language. Think about it. You start off mama, dada,
Yeah.
and now you're telling her to go to bed. She cussing you out.
Yeah.
It's like how?
Language is amazing.
Language is amazing.
The Bible calls it sense, isn't it?
Yeah,
Separate sense.
Yeah.
But Esau's trying to circumvent that and jump over, because what they have, all of these new bits, but these earbuds and that, like the new AirPods, does live translation, and all of that. Esau's just hijacking that, that stepping over basically certain patterns, certain things that the Lord, basically miracles. Esau's trying to bring miracles, because that was one of the things that the Lord did, right? What was it? Pentecost, put the clothes and were able to just speak in different languages, man.
No, I just had a quick one, man. Psalms 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh than to put confidence in man. It's better to trust in the Lord than put confidence in princes, right? And this is what it's been flipped, because you're putting trust in Esau because he's telling you how smart he is. Yeah. But he don't know everything, right? And he might say, yeah, but you've got a God that you believe in, no one's ever seen, and you believe in this thing you've never seen before. But then you explain to me then.
Yeah, but you believe in shit that you never seen.
You explain to me then, isn't it?
Was you there? Was you there? When a man program it, like I always say, like I know that. Okay, say like the man give you a program and tell you this is what it does. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, how the fuck do I know, man? Like, I don't know code. I know that code could be like you plug it in and it explodes for you. You're trusting that in the code. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of these man, it's who you're putting your trust in, man. But this is what Esau's done. So what? They've created a situation where people are going to trust AI now more than they trust the Most High.
It's the ministry of truth, and because when they changed ChatGPT, people were balling out. People were crying. They was like, "Oh, it was my therapist. I would have committed suicide were it weren't for ChatGPT."
Yeah. And it's crazy thing about ChatGPT. It's like, even if you have an answer for something that's wrong, it will try to find, a way to try and make what you said wrong right. I've seen it before. Like I know the answer to something, and I ask ChatGPT to prove why this wrong answer is right, and it'll create a whole narrative of why it's right.
Because it will find some conflicting information. Because some things are up to interpretation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's why AI doesn't always give you the same answer every time.
Yeah.
Because it's sifting through information and it's interpreting certain things, and from the information it can gather.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's conflicting information.
Yeah.
It has to choose one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even one time we tried to say there's a scripture on Esau coming from the seed of Jacob. I said, prove that. Like, where did you get that?
Bro.
Then after you had to say, I'm sorry, man, it's not really there. I said, well, crazy. But then that's why apostles and brothers will talk about, you have to sift through information and check through.
You gotta go through the scriptures. But most of the stuff that AI comes up with, like I said in the video I did the other day, I asked AI about the infrastructure that would be necessary to set up a system where they can monitor and control the use of resources and so forth. And it literally listed it would need
Yeah.
digital ID. It would need, you know,
I did the same
data,
thing.
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what have we been going through in the algorithms all these years?
yeah.
So it's not like we didn't know all this stuff. Like, so we don't rely on AI, man. It's just that sometimes it can be a good resource to put all the information you want in one
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good for that. But that it's not the end all and be all. That so we're gonna all the breakdowns we're just gonna get from AI now. Like, hey, AI breakdown Isaiah 53 and go teach that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Have we still got 2 Peter?
Yep,
Yeah,
still
cool.
there. Back in 2 Peter 3, verse 6, it says, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished.
Right. Then why did they perish? You see, that's what we said earlier. They had technology back then. We're not in no better position than them man back then. With fire sticks, you know. You know, listen. It don't matter what technology man come up with. There's never a point, and this is what Esau's gonna learn the hard way. It doesn't matter what witchcraft you learn. Man can find the book of hidden witchcraft from the depths of the hidden cave in the unknown land. Man, you could listen, blood. You could get the judge of judge. You can find out all the way of judge, all the way of voodoo, all the way of hoodoo, all the way of Santa Maria. Go to Mars, find the face on the moon, get voodoo from there. You're still no closer to overturning the will and the word of the Heavenly Father. There really ain't nothing you could do when thus saith the Lord comes into play. You're cooked. Don't matter. Them guys before the flood, the Lord said they were going to get flooded and they were going to die. And it doesn't matter what technology they possess. Don't matter what. You could just sacrifice every maiden on the planet. That's what was going to happen, and that's what happened. And the same thing is going to happen now with Esau. Esau could get the AI, he can get the IA, the FBI, CIA, and every other IC, whatever. Man can get everything he wants. Man's got all. He has got all the witchcraft. What do you think that man been doing for the last?
Picking up everything.
Why you think? Looking, man. When you go back into the archaeology, who was doing archaeology? It wasn't Johnny mate from down at the fish mongers, mate. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to Egypt. We're gonna go dig up a few pyramids, mate. It wasn't these unlearned
It was the
groupies.
Yeah,
It was Lord Shittlewitz
yeah.
and Lara Croft and them, man.
Napoleon.
Now, why do you think they were digging up all these ancient sites? They were looking for knowledge. They show you that in all these movies, like they're gonna salute you in the movie.
Yeah.
But what they're showing you is the truth. That these guys, they weren't digging up all these tombs
Mummy.
just because they like old bones.
Yeah.
They were looking for artifacts. They were looking for talismans,
Yeah.
ancient talismans. They were looking for occultic knowledge that would have been written down and hidden somewhere
Using ritual, yeah.
and used in rituals, like the crystal skulls
Yeah.
and all these different things, man. This is the crystal skulls exist, you know. That's not just something that was in Indiana Jones. There's real crystals that they sacrificed 1,000 maidens and imbued it with demonic powers and all that shit. Now they got the Rothschilds and that got that in their damn closet, man. You know, rubbing the bald head.
To make a tea, man.
Yeah. This is a real thing. Esau's got all kind of occultic knowledge. Madame Blavatsky, what did she? She traveled the whole world and was getting fucked by every shaman there is to get the occultic knowledge that they use against the people now. They use all that witchcraft and the numerology and the geometrias and they use it against the people. And they think they can couple that with science to overturn the Most High, really to establish their own will. Like, we're going to use our power, our knowledge to establish our own will. So if the Lord said, you're going to be destroyed, no, I'm going to live forever. And I'm going to, no. Even back then with the flood, they learned the hard way. Listen, you're all going to die. And the only one that's going to make it is who I want to make it, which was Noah and his 3 sons and their wives, because thus saith the Lord, and they made it to the other side. Everyone else dead. Don't matter what they knew, how old they were, how strong they were. Like, they could have had a boat, they could have had a plane, they could have had a spaceship. They're dead. Thus saith the Lord.
I guess it's still there.
Isaiah 47 verse 9. But these 2 things shall come upon thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. But thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said, in thine heart, I am and none is beside me.
I am and none else. So they think they're gods now. They are, you know, we got this technology and we got this witchcraft and we did a few sacrifices. So now it don't matter what the Most High said. I can have my own blessing and to hell with Jacob. He gonna be my slave forever. It don't work like that. And he's pretty confident too, because it's looking good for him. We're all mash up, down bad. He's got all the military, all the technology. On paper, it looks like he gonna win. If you was gonna put your money on anything, you'd be putting your money on Esau. Trust me. You put the house on Esau. But you know what it is, man? When thus saith the Lord comes into the play, you gotta go with that, man. You gotta go all in on thus saith the Lord. Even when it don't look like, oh, you know what? How's that gonna happen? Listen, if it's thus saith the Lord, you better put your chips on there and hold firm, man. Stone face. You about to lose, boy. Because no one has ever gone against thus saith the Lord and come out victorious, man. No one. The whole world already got destroyed off the back of that. Cooked, done, drowned, finished, washed away. The new world after that. A whole new world. that was gone. Hall of Fame, everything gone. Like, all man's accolades,
all man's works.
all works gone. Like, man's not remembered again. Man's names aren't even remembered. The only names that I remembered is a few men that the Lord recorded in his own book. Everyone else is gone.
You've got Esau going under the sea trying to find trinkets.
Man's on the world with the fish, but you see it there. And the same thing's gonna happen again.
I'm going to finish this off quickly. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
Because this whole society, as we go into very frequently, is all founded on witchcraft. Hocus pocus. That's what this whole society is, and all the people in the society that, so once you get to a certain level, they're all witches and warlocks, man. This is a fact. They're all cultic demons that's working judge. And they're working judge every day, man. The Hollywood is working judge. Turn on the TV, they're all judging out. Monoconotos getting thrown up all over the place. Idols being manifested in every company. That man make a company, and it's all Masonic and occultic symbolism all over the company, from the name to the founder to the everything they do. It's just steeped in witchcraft. You can't even watch a music video. Watch a music video and turn the sound off, and just watch what you're actually seeing coming through that TV. Just pure witchcraft.
Witchcraft is mainstream.
It's mainstream, and the funny thing is, it always has been. We go back to Washington D.C. Go research the laying of the cornerstone of Washington. Man's there in his Masonic robe doing the Masonic ceremony. America's talking about how there's some godly people and we need to bring America back to that godly nation, one nation under God. When was it a nation under God? When you put the pyramid on the dollar bill? Is that when you was a nation under God? Or was it when you brought over the damn flipping was it the Washington Monument from Egypt and plumped it right there at your seat of power? Where's that in the Bible?
They live it.
Yeah, or when you received the Statue of Liberty from the Freemasons in France and made that a symbol of your liberty, a man in drag. Basically, it represents Baphomet, Lucifer, the hermaphrodite. When was you? Explain it to me. When you created Hollywood, or was it when you created Sin City, which is Las Vegas, and actually call it Sin City, and that's fine.
And spread throughout the earth. Literally, that's the capital, Sin City. Babylon, Vegas is the capital of Sin City. But everywhere else, like Bangkok, and Seoul over here, you know what I mean? Oh, Pink City. That's Israel's Sin City.
Well, when was it? When was it? It doesn't make no sense. A godly people, what when you called all your missions to the moon after a Greek god? You sat down in a meeting and said, you know what, this mission to the stars, what should we call it? Oh, we should call it Apollo. Why? Well, because Apollo. Wait, hold on, but We don't believe in Apollo. So why are we naming it after a Greek god? Are we not Christians?
The eagle was landed.
And everyone, oh yeah, it's called Apollo. Great.
No
The Bible
question
says, make not the mention of other gods.
You got like 13 of them. What a 13.
Man didn't even think like, why is it being named after a fucking a Greek god? Or like, why are we reverencing a Greek god
Nice name.
in this enterprise?
You know, people say
just
that.
a name.
It's a nice
Just a
name.
name.
We kill it. You know. Like,
But
yeah.
they're Christian though.
Mm.
Go now.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 12.
No, they'll-
Woe to
they'll
him,
find a way.
woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall wear themselves for very vanity.
This America is a fraud. And this idea that there's a segment of Edomite Americans that represent righteousness makes you want to throw up.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk is with Jesus
That
now.
is horrendous.
That is ridiculous. Wow, bro.
Why? Because you made a few statements. First of all, it's not true because, okay, did Trump ban abortions then? No, he didn't. It's not banned. There's still abortions happening in America. Has he actually banned the trans people? Has he made it illegal to be trans? Has he put people in jail? They don't even, there's countries in Africa that man's lucky that, listen,
Yeah.
It'll be a
there's
time,
man
man.
in Africa that man pray the police get there because at
Yeah,
least
that's
you're
real.
gonna go jail.
Real, yeah.
Because while the police is coming, they've already sent man to the petrol station to come back with some diesel.
Whoa.
Not diesel, that's not even, you need petrol, not diesel.
Yeah.
And you better
Kerosene.
pray, the kerosene, you better
Kerosene.
pray that by the time that man come
Come
back
back.
here with that the kerosene, that the police have turned up to put you in jail.
Mm.
That's when you got a government that's anti-LGBT.
Yeah.
Trump has never been anti-LGBT. When Trump ran for presidency the first time, was it against Hillary? Was it?
Yeah.
Right. Both on the Trump website and the Hillary page,
It was free.
they all had a page which said what they were going to do for the LGBT.
Mhm.
So all that thing of Trump was against LGBT was all set up as a fake argument, a fake us versus them, when in reality, both of them are for LGBT.
Yep.
That's why the Bible says what? Spiritual Sodom and Egypt. These right wingers, right, know how to fake being righteous. Oh, we're just good Christians and we believe in. No, you don't, man. You're a bunch of devils. You're closeted demons. You've never been righteous. You've never been right. Charlie Kirk and them, man. Because we guarantee you look into them man background, they're all doing wickedness, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Americans never been right, man.
Well, now, Nahum 3 and 4, because of the multitude of the wardens of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft.
Yeah, they're all witches. They've been witches and warlocks, man. These man go to Skull and Bones. George Bush, right? Was he not Skull and Bones? He's a right winger. The Bush family all right wing, right wing.
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody that I'm an American. I'm a right wing, good, God fearing Christian. Then why are you in Skull and Bones, my brother?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Which right wing president came and said, hold on, like this Capitol building, why we got Greek and Roman gods up on the ceiling in this great Christian country? Yeah, we need to get rid of that.
Why
Yeah.
why do they have freedom of religion?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
yeah.
a good point. That's a good point.
No, there ain't no
They,
problem
they
with it.
actually got the fucking Church of Satan.
The Church
Yeah.
of Satan.
Yeah. In the fucking
The Church of Satan.
Oh Lord, bro.
You get me?
What more
It's
evidence?
all a fraud, man.
Fucking after school club for the church.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
in certain states.
It's all a fraud. But no, we don't like the transgenders. All right, fair enough, yeah. But I don't believe you. I don't believe you because he's in power now. Ban it, make it illegal.
You ain't doing that.
He ain't gonna do that.
Well, that's a good point. 'Cause you know the scriptures. There was
He's throwing all these executive orders everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He ain't
yeah.
doing
Yeah,
that.
make it illegal.
But remember the scriptures, they'll be like, especially there's a couple of the kings of Judah, when they'll come in power, they like cut down the grove.
Yeah.
They
Gotcha.
burn their
Immediately,
idols.
They don't do nothing significant. It's all rhetoric till they get in power, and they'll do a few talks. So what he actually did
Pantomime, it is.
was they said they're going to get rid of federal funding for certain surgeries. That's not the same as banning it.
Yes, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not the
You
same.
got to pay for
You're
it.
gonna
Yeah, but then the state will just pay for it. You're not banning anything. It's just there for the drama to pretend. That's why
It's the show.
the trannies, their life hasn't changed since Trump's got in. It's bullshit. They're living the same life. They could do what they want.
You're crushing out with it.
It's a
Overnight.
false argument. At the end of the day, they're all devils, man.
That's
Scott Bessent is a batty boy and he's in man's cabinet. So what are we doing here? It's all madness, man.
I got more. It says, "Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I'll show the nations thy nakedness and kingdoms thy shame. And I'll cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock."
These men have pretended that they have a moral high ground, right? And that's what we don't like about these devils. They want to pretend that they have some kind of moral high ground. You have no moral high ground. You're not a moral people. You've never been a moral people. You're not an upstanding people. I don't care if you're on the right, left, up, down, sideways, diagonal, and in the fourth dimension. You ain't right, man. You ain't ever been right. You don't have good values. You're the devils. You slaughtered the Native American Indians and stole their land for your own personal gain and benefit. That is the truth. Yeah? There were no love thy neighbor and all this bullshit that you're trying to talk about. You don't like violence. You love violence. You love the Smith & Wesson. You love busting the gunshot. You love that you conquered those people and took what they have. Don't fuck about. Now all of a sudden it's about Jesus.
Yeah.
Where was all the Jesus? Where then?
Wait, sir.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Oh, it's the left. No, it's you and the left. You're both a bunch of devils, man. Left and the right. You're all Satan.
Wait, sir. Habakkuk 2 verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and all of them that dwell therein. Woe to him that conveyeth evil confessions to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
There you go. That's what you're really all about. Whether you're on the left or the right, what you're really all about as an Edomite is filling your own belly. It just so happens that you have an image that you like to portray while you're doing it. And that's all it is. It's what image on mask you want to wear. You want to portray to the world while you do evil. Because it's not like, oh, when the right-wing government gets in, all the evil stops. All the evil just stops, like, because they're the good ones. Or the left think they're good. So when the left-wing government comes in, all the evil. No, it's a consistency of evil.
Yeah.
It's continuity of evil, man.
like a seesaw.
Yeah.
Back and forth,
Like
back
you said when the new righteous king came in,
Yeah.
man will
Cut
destroy the
the
gold
gold
down.
down.
They continue it.
Hey, sorry, bro. What was that king, yeah? That he like pretended to like you want to go and worship. He was like basically to tell everyone that worships.
Yeah, and they killed them.
Come and let me worship.
The name.
If sorry, I mean if any brother knows the post,
Yeah.
Bill, there's that king. He's like, oh come, let's all go worship. Gather them all up, kill them, took them out. If you can find that.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's
what would
the
happen
story.
if there was some kind of ideological difference. Like, for instance, if you look at the predatory nature of Wall Street, they all come in and continue the same predatory nature. Trump said he was for the little man. He ain't for the little man. He's still for the rich. So nothing really changes. It's bullshit, man. Anyways, one more verse. Yeah, go on.
Verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul.
And you're going to pay for it. You Edomites, all of you collectively are going to pay for all the wickedness you've done in the earth. None of you are on the right side of this thing.
No.
None of you are on the right side of this
But it
thing.
says there's none that doeth good.
They ain't doing no good, man. Let's not pretend. Now, I agree that to hell with the Chinese? Yeah, but I don't agree with you. I know that you're a devil.
I know you lie.
I know you lie. I know you're in the closet. I know you love to be in the closet.
Well,
And-
we saw the stats earlier on, innit? They love tranny porn.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so.
Yeah, man, that's a
Well,
but you think we needed you think we really need to know that, man? You think we needed to we need to know that these men are a bunch of batty boys still. Come on, man. We know Esau better than anyone, man. Man could be the most hardline right winger, and he will tell you, I don't like them homos. And he's got a boyfriend, man. 100%.
Well, even over here, these fucking English fans, football fans, who are posting their getting Great British flag, Union, whatever the fuck, tattoos, whatever about the flag. Remember you saw that clip?
Oh yeah, from the World Cup.
Oh, the World Cup.
World Cup.
It was
That
them
was them, man. Yeah.
Them guys at the first. Nasty niggas, bro. So like, man, I just be seeing, you know, like, because I work with one of them meatheads, did it? I work with one of them, and he's talking about. I was gonna almost say my first name. He was like, "Yeah, mate, have you seen the thing with the flag? Like, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, he's trying to
Test you.
he's trying to see that
How you react.
persecution." And me, you know, I do all the time. No, I've never thought about that. I play dumb all the time. But you know when you see these great British bacon,
Low IQ.
low IQ fucks trying to act like they're just some marginalized
What's a
group of
righteous,
people.
the righteous
Because
crusade.
you know now, you know when you get the car on the motorway, you be seeing the flags on the motorway and shit.
And what's changed? What's changed?
What shame?
Nothing's changed.
Hey,
He's still serving you donut.
You just let me know that. You just let me know that you're a devil, bro.
No. Because putting a flag up is taking our country.
Some factory in China's getting more money. That's the thing.
Hey, I'm telling you, next time we're gonna hire Becky to go sell some flags down. Yeah, Becky gonna get her cut. We're gonna get our cut.
What you talking about?
Get all you need a Becky with
Yeah.
big knockers on it, and he's gonna buy all of them. Listen, you Edomite, listen. You Edomite right wing guys, right? You're the ones
worst.
going to Brazil
Yeah.
dealing with the trannies.
Yeah.
The left wing dudes, they're
No.
out in the open with it.
Yeah.
They've never had to hide. The
Yeah.
thing is, the left wing dons are out there.
Yeah.
You the man that's sneaking on them
Yes.
little holidays,
Bro.
going to Thailand, turning up,
Yeah.
hoping not, and then dealing with them lady boys on the side.
Yeah.
You're the closet dudes, and there's lots of you. There's a
Bro.
whole industry designed to fulfill your lust.
Yeah.
The left wing dudes do everything in the open.
And there's all
You guys do it in the darkness,
Yeah.
man. Don't think we're stupid out here.
bro. You
You're
know
both wicked. You're both
Yeah.
wearing up.
You know them so-called stern Edomites. You can't see him at work. But I used to work with a chef, you know, for Spurs. I used to work back in the day when I was much younger. And this dude, you see him every day with a straight face and stare. But one time he started so-called laughing, telling the story like in the kitchen. And he said a story when he was in South America. Went to one of the Mardi Gras, and he told about this bird he got. And then he basically said she pulled out pulled out its whatever, and it was bigger than his.
That's crazy.
And this guy was laughing like it was funny. And all the Edomites and the chefs are all there laughing.
That's a nightmare, bro.
Going red like crimson. And I was looking at them like, bro, you always act like you're some great British fighter of the people. But this is what you're doing in
What's the red boys?
Yeah, man.
The red boys, man. They get the red boys. They're the mans, man.
Well, the what do you call it? The people that are into Al-Azhar stuff. That's mostly them.
Yeah.
You know.
Closet, man. We don't. Where do you think these closet? You think a left wing
They
dude is
recruit,
in the
man.
closet? They're out there.
Yeah.
It's the right wing guys that you find that it's in the darkness, man.
Dark.
They're not
Well,
stupid.
Oh, because it's because there was this one. There's this one quote in quotes. I like comedy, innit? I watch whoever. But there's this one black chick from the States, and one of the things she said, she used to be a dominatrix, and she was saying some of the clients she'd have, like she said, ex-army men, Edomites, and that.
Oh.
You know.
That you know who I'm talking about. The big nigga from Newcastle. You know the white guy. Geordie, whatever. True.
Oh yeah, he got caught.
He
yeah,
got
he
caught.
got caught,
Talking about women to go and shit in the chest.
Yeah.
Right. But if you see him, he's one of them
Big, masculine.
masculine white men.
Any compensate
Overcompensate.
overcompensate, man.
Nasty.
Oh, bro,
Dumps
come
in
on,
the chest.
We know what time it is, so we don't listen to these Edomites, man.
Wow, like,
These
not a
Edomites
process,
are all batty boys. All listen, man. If they're Edomite, they're about him. That's how you have to look at it.
This is good. Deuteronomy 32 and 32. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom and of the field of Gomorrah. They are grapes of Gar. Their cluster are bitter.
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain, they were right wingers too. Yeah, man, I'm saying. So don't be fooled by these people and what the bullshit they might say in public, because that represents the mask that they want to wear. Sodomism goes across both sides of
Yeah.
this division. It's just one side wants to be a hypocrite about it and the other side don't. That's really what it is. One side is loud and proud, and the other one wants to go on Pornhub and search it up on there, and then go to Brazil or go to Thailand without their wife and you know and do some madness.
Yeah. You always hear these bacon people always talking about Thailand loving that. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, bro, don't you remember that program in England, where the dude went to Thailand, right? It was an Edomite, and then he fell in love with the fucking tranny. Yeah, and then and he left his wife, So his son was down bad, obviously, because that's crazy. Bro. Your dad mashed up the family for a tranny, And then in the program, it was about him taking his son there to basically like meet the tranny and understand why he did it. And he's all introducing his son to other trannies. And I'm yo, these Edomites are wild, boy.
And they
Ain't got no shame, bro.
They don't have no blind, bro. There's no
Yeah.
they're cedar freaks, bro.
Yeah.
Their passport.
Shit,
boy.
but every Edomite comes up with.
Bro, I seen it.
And he holds a goal in it.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. He holds a goal.
Yeah, but it's been like that. It's been like that. They love the anal play, and then through porn, that's how they got Jake onto that shit.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was growing up, man weren't running that. That wasn't a popular thing amongst Jake. That was an Edomite thing. I remember one time I was in school, and a brother told me that, and he realized he shouldn't have told me that. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, he was one of the Edomites, and he thought, yeah, mate, and then I fucked her in the ass. I was like, what? Wait. And then his face was like, oh shit. Kind of thing is that, yeah, but man can't fall. Man, then we're on this, but now through porn, which comes from Esau. Jake is kind of
Normalized.
getting into the all that freakism. That Esau really was the one that was into all that.
Even the whole which is actually called Oculum infamy, which is called the shameful kiss. That's the whole eating of the ass shit. That's actually you know now in music is viral. You gotta eat groceries and all that. That's actually a satanic ritual.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Through the adult entertainment, what Esau's done is he's basically he's normalizing sex magic, right?
Yeah.
Because then when the elite start coming out more and more with, oh, by the way, this is witchcraft, people are like, well, I already do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you participate.
It's the same thing that I said about the whole the whole thing with Cassie, and why a lot of women were defending her was because they do a lot of that shit anyway. Right, they're like, you'd be surprised. You'd be speaking to certain women, I'll be like, oh yeah, I've done an orgy. Like, whoa, or whatever. That's just a normal thing in this.
Yeah, that's why these girls. What was that bitch? That the blue, something blue.
Yeah, Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue. These women just come out and just say, yeah, I'm doing all this shit. Women don't look at it now as something that's real taboo like that. They might do it on a slide. You know what I mean? You don't think twice about it. Or go Dubai and get fucking shot by some fucking Arab. You know what I mean?
And there's a term that they push Esau. Not they. Esau pushes out. It's kink shame. Oh, you can't kink shame.
Yeah.
Kink shame.
Yeah.
Kink shame.
Yeah.
Certain things.
But this is why it's Babylon, bro. This is why it's Babylon, because he allows every nastiness to go on in this place.
And the right wingers, they're into it, man. Don't let them fool you. Oh, we're just in traditional, traditional Christian values.
Bro, I showed it on the thing, bro.
Like, this is some clean, like there's some saints. Saint Charlie and that. Get the fuck out of here. Man. Nobody believes that shit, man. You cocaine dozen and demons, man. What, man? Fuck out of here, man.
They like their gimp suits and cuckold. That's it, man.
Who's that?
Yes,
Yeah.
verse 7. Second PS3.
Oh shit, what does that say? Hold on, wait, read that. What it says?
I say like I was searching alphabet people in Republican in America say they have 18% of alphabet people age 18 to 34 and the age 35 to 34 are Republican.
compared to 29. So ain't really that much difference. Get the hell out of
Same
this
thing.
guy. A bunch of batty boys. Ain't no, I know, it's what we do know. Nobody man's voting for us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't run them things over here. Man. You know them ones there, like, not even 1%. If man find out, man, I have to just chop off your own. You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead. That's what we do know, man. Man got a batty man holding the camera.
Fuck out your own ass.
Louder.
You know, members often. That's in there.
Yeah, man, don't let these Edomites fool you because that's how they want to basically frame it. That there's a good side to Esau. There's a good Christian, God-fearing side to Esau that just represents righteousness and goodness. Nah, fuck off with you.
So this is from Google's AI mode. So I asked, do red states watch more of that Al-Azhar it says published research on the topic is limited and shows conflicting results, so a definitive answer is not possible. A major online survey in 2018 found that Democrats were more likely to fantasize about BDSM, but here it is, while Republicans were more likely to fantasize about infidelity, swinging, and orgies.
Of course.
There's
Cuckolding. It's things like going both ways,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Listen,
Wife swap and all that.
Yeah.
we're just
Bunch of
devils. It's
69
just that
dogs.
one, like I said, one form of devil wants to be out in the open, and the other one wants to still keep the illusion and the image of good, clean Christian living. You know what time it is, man. Go ahead, man. Look, man, Edomites are Edomites, man. You know what I mean?
I've got something for you.
I think that brother,
Yeah, he's Chicago's yes, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. Yeah, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into the angel of light. Right, that's the image he wants to portray. Yeah. He wants to portray that he righteous, that he good, that he on God's side. Right?
we stand for marriage.
But look at what he does, either in the open or in behind the scenes. None of that is according to the scriptures. None of it. So as much as he calls himself, God-fearing man, all this bullshit, man, what is he doing? None of it, man. None of it lines up.
Adultery isn't even illegal in terms of
no.
going to jail.
No.
It gets paraded.
If you might say, listen, man, we don't ain't gonna hand out the death penalty
But-
because we're on the
yeah,
grace.
but
But you do 5 years in jail.
Yeah.
They don't even go to jail.
He said, bro, don't get shamed. Don't get shamed.
No. It should at least be going to jail. Even like I said, it's some of them African husbands like, you know what, man, we ain't gonna burn them on the spot, but he's gonna go to jail. Then man said you can't even do that. You can't even put man in jail.
But instead, he'll promote sexual liberty.
Yeah.
That's what he'll do instead.
Well, even to remember those that TikTok or whatever that explain how most of these like romantic movies, just adultery.
It's
Yeah,
adultery.
yeah,
It romanticizes adultery and also toxic relationships. Just
Titanic is a big one.
Titanic, Twilight. Don't ever let any of your teenage daughters watch that shit without you. I watched it with my daughter and I pointed out how toxic that fucking that program is. Basically the girl being attracted to a guy that wants to kill and eat her. Like you don't get more toxic than that.
And that's Esau.
It's mad. Like the film is pure toxic. That's not the portrayal of a proper relationship. But that's what Esau does, man.
And that just shows you Esau fetishizes over you ease, man.
Yeah.
He don't really tend for any good for you, man. He just want to use you and abuse you, man.
Oh, just that Esau ain't right, man. And his society, if they were so righteous, like I said, when they would make things where righteousness would be easier, and they would promote it, but they don't.
They don't even hold no high holy days, man.
Yeah.
Not one.
Man said they promote marriage, but there's no financial benefit from marriage. In fact, marriage can actually hurt you. They don't make it where it's actually financially beneficial for two people to come together and be married
And to stay.
and to stay married. Like, they make it like it's harder. Like everything they do is BS and it's against like what they claim that they're for.
Yeah. That's one of the things they look into the child support. I remember looking into it a while ago, but it's like that's one of the reasons why these states be so big on the child support because they're getting a big cut, right? So of course it's like, oh shit, you going to get a divorce? Okay, so then the lawyers are getting paid.
Everyone's getting paid.
Everyone's getting paid apart from the man's the only one that loses out in the equation.
It's a joke, man. Yeah, go on.
It's verse 15. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
Yeah, these guys that they actually have a nerve to say that Trump is a messiah or something, man. He was chosen by God, and when he's in power now, what's he done for God, man? They said Charlie Kirk is on a work
Bro,
trip
they
with
come-
Jesus.
yeah.
What did these men do to represent righteousness in the earth? What's Trump done? No, really and truly, like, what has he actually done except forward the New World Order and give a bunch of money over to AI and all this stuff? Like, what have they done? What have they done? This is BS, man. What have they done to forward the print? If you want to go by the principles of the Bible, what have they done to forward love thy neighbor as thyself? What have they done for any of these principles?
Create more division.
Yeah, these man, come on, man. Come on, what are we doing here, man? How's he spreading? How is Trump helping to spread the gospel, man? The good news of salvation, which is in the Lord.
Tyrants.
Nothing.
Tyrants.
As far as I'm concerned, he's coming to power, and he said America first. Well, if you're a Christian, you're not supposed to be America first. You're supposed to be the Lord first. It's confusion.
Yep.
He's a Messiah and return it to the Christian ways and bring back God. You ain't never had God. That's the problem. That's why you're in the predicament that you're in.
Yep.
It's always been lies and fabrication. And by the way, the presidential inauguration is witchcraft. It's a satanic ritual, man. Go on, man.
Right? It just says, whose end shall be according to their works.
There you go. Their works is evil, wickedness, lies and deceit. The actual act of being a politician, you live off propaganda, lies and deceit. You don't tell the truth about nothing. That's the way of politics. And you want to talk about the American way. The American way is lies. There's no politician that can survive without lying, man. They have to lie. They have to manipulate information still. You'll lie to your face. Hell out of here, man.
Go on. So book of Psalms 15 and 16. But unto the wicked Mosiah says, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
So you parade around like you know God's God
Chosen people. Well, they
But
said
what do you do?
when you break it down, the reason they said they took America is because they are God's chosen people now, and America is the promised land.
Yeah.
When you go back to the original, which most of those Bible Belt people, that's what they believed, because that was passed down to them. That the reason that they said that America was New Canaan, and they're the chosen people because of replacement theology, and now they have a covenant with God to take the land from the heathens, which is the Native American Indians. But when they took the land, they established their own constitution, bro. Not based upon the law of the Bible.
No, wickedness. Established on sin.
They don't follow the laws of the Bible as principles in anything they do. They just make up a bunch of laws, and then on top of that, you could get around the laws if you're rich enough, when that's against the Bible.
Yes, basic accept, not a bribe, gift.
Then the president can run around giving out pardons
Yeah, to
to who he feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when Trump,
Fauci and all that.
yeah,
man.
remember, he's a nigga, but remember when Trump pardoned Kodak? Right. That's what everyone was. Fuck that, you know what I mean?
Talking Negro.
Right. I mean, there's worse people than Kodak. Right. But come on, man.
It's insanity, man.
Insanity.
And we gotta sit here and watch these people. Oh man, that's why we ain't with none of them, rude boy. We're not with none of them. We're only with Yahweh Shai, and that's it. And that's why this whole system, no matter which way you slice it, will always come for us. Because we're like, nah, we ain't playing this kind of game. We see through all of you. None of you represent me. For sure, 100%. Because this is what we do know. The MOTB system is pushed by both sides.
Yep.
And what do they want to do? Chip and number the people and put us into slavery. So how are they righteous and for me?
I have a precept on that.
Go on, man.
It's Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yeah, they come like everything's a democracy, right? And then, so you think democracy represents choice? Well, look at this, right? Look at this, right? You vote in a politician, right? That's the only, People don't realize this. The only part you have to play in this democracy is you take part in the ritual to choose your ruler for like 4 years, right? You vote in the president for 4 years. In that 4 years, what choice do you have? I'll tell you what choice you have. You have the choice to sit there and watch what's happening on the TV. You have the choice to write a letter to your representative. But the representative can do what he wants. And what's your choice then? If the representative didn't do what you want, another guy can come along and say, I'm going to do what you want. And then you vote him in. And then when he gets in, he can then also do what he wants. They don't let everyone vote on what's going to be passed, is it? You vote for the president and Trump comes in and wants to flipping do this executive order. You don't have no choice but to sit there and either cheerlead or disagree. Until 4 years later, where you take part in a ritual to give your consent, and then after that ritual's done, you do the same thing on repeat. So in a way, they got the two horns as a lamb, and they're making it look like you have a part of this. Oh, you could go and vote, and then you could choose what you want. But in reality, they speak as a dragon, because no matter who you vote for, they're gonna just do what they want, and they're gonna push through their mechanizations, and you're gonna have to do what the government says. Because whether it's a left or right wing government, if you don't do what the government says, the government's gonna use its force against you.
And it says that the two horns of a lamb, right? They all come humble when it comes to presidential voting time, isn't it? Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Oh, we're gonna make sure you'll be better up. And then that's it. When they get to power now, they do what the fuck they want.
And if you don't agree, the iron fist will come down on you.
And that's what's happening.
Whether you're on their team or not. Say if you're a Republican and you don't agree with what Trump wants to do, Trump said to hell with you already. Like, I don't need you.
And then some people think, if I go become a Democrat or become a Republican or switch sides, it will change. No, nothing changes. It's the same shit.
The government's gonna do what the government wants to do because if you don't run it, it's an illusion.
Yeah.
It's draconian, and people are gonna find out exactly how draconian it is.
Yep, there's gonna come a time when people are gonna be, oh, the Israelites are right. Esau is the devil.
You're gonna find out, man, for real.
That's it.
Yeah, that's how the thing goes, man. Go on up.
Yeah.
Was that the point on that?
Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah, that's the point on that, man.
No,
And it's just like here in the UK, man, without fail, whether it's the Labour or Conservative, and we've been in, brothers are all old enough that we've seen the full cycle. Like,
Gordon Brown.
the one thing that's true is we are where we are today because of both parties.
Same time.
Yep. Well, it's kind of what I was saying earlier on as well, as Quan, about how a lot of the stuff Trump is doing, Trump represents the right, Labour that represent the left are doing
The same thing.
They're doing the same thing, but they're supposed to be against they're supposed to be philosophically different, but the result is still the same.
Yeah, they're just pushing the same. And I asked ChatGPT about it. I posted that, and it showed how the left and the right have their different angles to achieve the same exact thing. You know what I mean? And they're coming draconian with it because when they pass that law, you have to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna be hit with sanctions for not doing what you're told. Just like when the MOTV comes down the line, there's gonna be left-wing governments and there's gonna be right-wing governments in. But it doesn't matter. If both of them tell you gotta have that chip, then you're gonna have that chip.
Because it's like, once again, the CV showed is a perfect example. Because on the one hand, they made it seem like, oh, we're against Russia, we're against China. Russia and China, you couldn't just enter them countries during the CV. When it came down to everyone having a juice, they all had the same policy.
Russia had their variation.
Everyone had their variation. China had Sinovac. Russia had whatever their one was called.
Rosvac.
Ross
something.
Makes vodka. Vodka.
Snack.
Right? No, I forget whether they did the same entry requirements. Like I know in the EU, like you had to have the juice to prove to be able to enter. Pretty sure they did though. It goes to show you that it doesn't matter what they say in the political media sphere. Behind the doors, they've all got the same idea. They've all got the same agenda.
It's like a magician, man. They always tell you, man, don't watch what he's showing you. Yeah. Watch what he's doing, right? It's the same with the word. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they're doing. They're all doing the same thing. So what difference is there really? There ain't no. Even though they talk differently, there ain't no real difference.
right. Precept. This is Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Right. So we was talking for years about these different, like the Patriot Act and the NDAA, right? Remember, there was a time when Alex Jones, Ron Paul, all these right wingers were foaming out the mouth, especially when Obama passed the NDAA. They were like, "Oh, this is an infringement on the Constitution. You know, it's giving the government all these different powers. You know, there is government takeover, blah blah blah." Okay, cool. That's that. Okay, all right, cool. When Trump came in his first term, that means he rescinded all that, right? Oh, well,
So-
why not?
Exactly.
Well, since you're so you object to the NDA and the Patriot Act as infringing on your rights, then when you put in your right-wing messiah, one of the first things he should have did was, you see this Patriot Act and this NDAA that's infringing on the rights of my American citizens. We're ripping that up. Everyone's free. Nope, kept it and then added to it.
Like I said, why don't you tell the goals down? Like,
Yeah,
they don't.
Then,
We do not
you
unite
keep all the shit.
because they waiting to use it all in a specific moment.
Exactly.
You know,
They
don't
need
get
it
rid
to
of it.
use against you. So now when he's naming in people as terrorists, now they have all the frameworks in place to utilize them against you.
and it's possible whoever's in power, left or right, they can use it.
They can use it.
Whoever's there can use it. That's the whole idea.
Otherwise, they would have got rid of it. And it's so simple. Just think about it. And then Alex Jones is not mentioning it. Ron Paul is not mentioning it. Why not? We said, bro, we got the power now. All that shit we was disagreeing with that Obama did, you could just rip all that up, right?
Yeah.
Just right. You were doing all these. He did so many executive orders, right? Well, just do it right there. Just get rid of that. Boom, 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 done.
You know what used to make me laugh? You'd be watching the news and it'd be like back in the day, some conservative. Yeah, you know what we inherited from Labour. So one day was like, bro, you've been in power for 13 years. Why are you still talking about, you know, Labour and this, that, and you're in power now. You can make the rules. You know?
That's why this place has to be done away with, man. Because it's just lies and deceit and wickedness, man. That's all it is, man. Falsehood, lies, deceit, skullduggery, right? And you shouldn't have to live in a world where people are just lying all the damn time and manipulating. Just tell the truth. The world should be just straightforward. What the man just say the truth straight up and down, like.
And I just showed you how different the kingdom is gonna be.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Basically, everyone's gonna know their rulers. Everyone's gonna know who really has power
and what the rules are,
and what the rules are.
and why, and that's it. And
No,
that's it.
no changes either.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know,
Manipulation,
yeah, exactly.
theater,
Yeah.
false flags.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
do a false
Wearing
flag.
that same hat as well. Yeah, that's it.
What the hell are we doing a false flag for?
Yeah, false flag.
But-
Flag. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
We're gonna know judgment. You know what I mean? You're gonna know judgments happen.
That's it. Which goes to show that this is the basest kingdom, because it's like, gotta think about the whole account of Esther, right? That was about the fact that the king had made a word and he's like, look, I can't go back on my word, right? So there's a way that we're gonna have to, deal with this situation. But it was like the king's word. When the king said something, that was that. But in this world, you don't have the king's word. Like, and if a man doesn't even have his word, it's like, what is he, bro? And that's what this kingdom is,
Yeah.
man.
Flip flopping.
Never changing.
You know what I mean? This bullshit, man, and lies
Yeah.
and propaganda, and they'll make something look like they did something when then you look into the details, they didn't do nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? It's just a headline
Yeah.
to get people all sensationalized. And
Yeah.
you look into it and it's like, it's bullshit.
Nothing but
Yeah, nothing burger, man. But this place got to go, man, and all that is a waste of energy.
A low calorie burger.
Ecclesiasticus
Lettuce burger.
12:16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
And that's what it is. Esau will come and always speak like he's for you, but he ain't for you. He's for himself. He speaks sweetly, and they're gonna speak sweetly. Like we're going into all these technological advances. The woman that was on the TV talking about the digital ID. Oh well, it can help you with you know, the illegal immigrant situation, obviously the crisis they created, and then it's like, oh, don't you want to have all them passwords? And when in reality, the only reason they want the digital ID is because they want to lock you into a system where you're a slave.
I mean, I
It's
get it,
got
man.
nothing to do with helping.
I'm sick of passwords as well, bro.
I get it, but
They make
that's
it more
not-
frustrating,
but
bro.
that's not why they're
No,
bringing
exactly.
the digital ID.
That's right.
That's just how they're selling it to you.
Yeah, that's they're putting the strings that you know, the everyday strings that are affecting you.
Because if they didn't want to, they wouldn't care about how many passwords
No,
you need to
I don't give
remember.
a shit.
Why do they care? It's like they're selling. Oh, we're bringing in the carbon taxation because we want to
saves the
save the
planet.
planet. And don't you want
It
your
saves the
children
planet.
to have the planet? It's got nothing to do with saving the planet. They just want to control your every move. So it's like that's how this devil operate. They always try and sell things to you like they're doing it for your benefit. And it's a lie.
What was that song? Every step you
Yeah.
take, watching.
That's what it's all about, man. And that's how this devil has always operated, and they get the people to get whipped up into a hysteria, thinking like we're talking about today. I was talking to Priest Shaman about Trump and these men. They sold these men a dream. They said we're gonna bring the jobs back. No, they're not. Anyone with half a brain could tell you that the jobs that left are not coming back. You know, if you were gonna say you were going to create new industries and educate the children of the future, you might say, okay, they might be able to do that. But them guys that are working in the factories back in the 70s and 80s are not getting those jobs back. Factories don't work like that no more.
Yeah.
You're not going to get those jobs back. And now we were talking today about the entry level. A lot of the entry level jobs that people would normally go into are being gutted by AI. The jobs ain't coming back, man. The average person is not going to have the same opportunities that people in the 50s had. This ain't the 50s no more.
If I could say, it's like when we like look at certain of the infrastructure, some certain of the problems that London has, whether it be the roads, whether it be the there's certain like transit systems or whatever. One of the issues was it was a pioneer, it was a first, right? And it was like, oh, we did it again, we'll probably do it differently.
It'll be the same.
Same with the factory, especially now with automation. You ain't ever gonna have a factory that employs several thousands of people.
They're not gonna go back.
It's not efficient. Like the point that the brother Awad point, the Microsoft, when Trump was here, Microsoft said they were gonna invest $150 billion, but create 7,000 jobs.
Yeah, doesn't add up.
But why? Because the new world that is to come,
Not labor
it's
intensive.
not labor intensive, because it doesn't make sense.
So then there's more people now than there was before, and less job roles in this new industry. So what are the rest of them are going to do? And then the thing is, Elon was telling you that, but at the same time, they're saying we're going to save America, we're going to put tariffs on everything, and all the jobs are going to
Like
come.
Elon doesn't even want employees. He just sacked a bunch of fucking meta dudes, and he Tesla plants ain't got people in it.
Yeah.
Because
Because
he don't want people.
because if you're doing things today,
And he's the richest man on the fucking planet. He can
Allegedly.
waste he can waste money on
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
But you don't want to waste money on people. You gotta buy a fucking robot.
Well, that'll make the stop.
Right.
So like I was going to say, because if you was to build something, if you was to build a factory today, you're not going to follow the model. Like once again, if you was to rebuild a
Outdated.
transit, you ain't going to build it like how we built
Motown.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, Motown, but
like it don't
bear
make
man
no
on the
sense.
line, like
It's inefficient.
ain't gonna
It's
work, man. It's just like here in the UK. That time is got that industrial base that was up north. All these men that were in the mines and all that kind of stuff. They ain't coming back, bro. That's why the man are give my England back and all this stuff, bro. You're uneducated. You can't even do the new jobs that there are. But there's too many of you. 19, bro. We're gonna bring. No, the north of England is never coming back to any form. You better go back to slavery days, building ships. That ain't coming back, man. You had a good run, and now it's over, and there ain't no Brexit that's gonna bring anything. You better just get a TikTok account, yeah, and hope, yeah, that you could get some roses and whatever it is shit that they could do on there. Start tap dancing and hoping you could get some peas that way. Because no jobs, no manufacturing is coming back. Period.
It's all high tech factories now, man. And because once again, let's be real. If you're a businessman, that's what you would do.
And the high street's dying,
I should dead. It's dead.
you know.
If it's going online.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
world is
you might get a job for like a couple of years building these plants.
Yeah, the way the
That's
world is going is Esau's created a world that's no longer labor intensive. It's capital intensive. It's automation, but it's not labor intensive, but there's more people. And this is the issue that they created because they want there to be a crisis where, well, most people are surplus to requirements. So how do we manage this? Well, we're going to have to bring in some kind of system to support these people. That's why they're pushing what? UBI. But how is Elon telling you UBI is the answer and at the same time telling you all your jobs are coming back? You retards. But Trump's going to say, so yeah, he's going to give you that job.
Says Ecclesiastes 12 from 3. Says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they're few, and those that look out the windows darken.
Right, because the more and more people fall down the cracks and can't afford things, that means they spend less money on other things, and then them other businesses shut down.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing in society. All the money and the wealth is really going up to the top, but the people at the top can only spend so much money. Like, you ain't gonna get a billionaire that's gonna go every shop in London and spend. Like, how much money can you spend when you're a billionaire? You spend your money on very specific things.
Well, you don't, and you don't buy multiple, right?
No.
Niche thing.
So really, all your wealth just keeps stacking up, and it doesn't really spread through the system. So the more people on the middle class that gets gutted, the less money for everyone else. Because the middle class are the ones that go out and go to the chippy and go around and spend money.
There's more of them.
And it's more often, the less and less there is of people with that level of disposable income to spend in the market and spend on that, then everyone else starts losing jobs and losing ability. And that's what you see really happening. You know what I'm saying?
I was in an Uber, which got recently, and I was basically speaking to a driver. And I was also, how's business and that? It was like, no, it's down. And basically, it's the thing, like, to back up what you're saying, people can't really afford to go out like they used to. So because they can't afford to go out like they used to, they ain't, or if they are going out, they're like, you know, I ain't gonna pay for an Uber, so I'm gonna make sure I leave at a certain
I'm
time.
gonna buy the pints and the Uber.
Exactly, and that's what another thing is. What a clock when you go to like a pub nowadays, everyone's bringing out the credit card.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you know, maybe someone may have bought out the debit card, but now more you're seeing American Express. You're seeing, you know, whatever credit.
Well, that's what we were talking about. That the younger generation, they don't going out generation now because they can't afford it.
Too expensive.
They're sitting at home, you know, thinking they know about football because they play FIFA on their headset talking to their brethren.
Yeah.
And then they might buy an A for something and then
I have a nice day.
you know what I mean? Because going out now
Expensive.
it's expensive, bro.
What pint in the UK is what £8 or something?
Bro.
£7, £8.
By the time you spin around, bro, you've already hit the £100 category, man.
And that's assuming you're on your own. So as soon as you're now with other like family, other people, forget about it.
It's cooked.
It's cooked, man.
We speak about buying around, so like, you know, we got a bunch of friends with you.
So
We
we're
can't
going
buy
to
around.
ask them, man. We're going to ask them. We're getting the rollback, man.
And
Bud Lights.
that's like, but that's basically what the taxi driver was saying. He was like, people are more doing that nowadays. They'll go to each other's house, which ironically the CV helped people start to do that. Because during the CV, people started doing house parties. And then they was, we can just carry on doing the house party thing because it's cheaper. So then the
clubs are shutting down.
and then the licensing doesn't help either. So Hackney, which is what's in London, you've got, you know, your different like clubbing places, right? Hackney is one of the areas where you've got them. But they basically changed a lot of the licensing rules. Where, and I believe that the elders in Dallas said similar things happening in Dallas, where it's like nowadays there are no late licenses.
Oh yeah.
So there's only like 3 bars left that can open until after like 1 or something like that. So all of the new licenses and eventually all of the bars will be closing at 11.
Because in the end, what they really want is those places are going to become exclusive to the elites, and everyone else is a virtual thing. I have to do the virtual. This is where it's all headed. That's what we wanted. You can stay in fucking yard, man.
It shows you looked up. Remember, nigga, Tory Lane.
Man's whining with the girl. Like,
Yeah.
man's pretending the girl's dead. Like, God, my hand's on your back right now. Hey, that was in Demolition, man. You know, that's how I'm saying. Man, I have to plug into the virtual thing.
I appreciate.
Yeah, go on, man.
This is Isaiah 24:11. There is a crying for wine, wine in the streets. Well, even remember lockdown, we were playing football, and the fans were just TV screens.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then a house and
Yeah.
you know, dead quiet and shit, fake crowd.
Bro, a
Great
lot,
crowd
a lot of
noise.
the,
MMA just fighting empty arena.
a lot of
empty arena.
the games now, right? You're getting less and less real fans that can afford to go to the games,
Yeah,
and it's really man with money that's turning up like to watch the games. The old faithful, they're like, yo, man,
Priced
that's
out.
priced out. It's the basically tourists.
Yeah.
which is why there's no passion at the stadium.
Yeah, they ain't got. It used to be like it'd be all the wankers, you know, like two
Yeah.
teeth because they pay 20 quid to get in.
Yeah,
But now it's like if you're gonna take your family to a football
Forget
game,
about it.
Bro,
Forget about
one time we went to a pre-season game, bro.
yeah, Man United's like that. When you go to if you go to Man United, right, at a home game, but half of them people is just like
Yeah,
randoms coming from next
Yeah.
countries. That's
Yeah,
bought a ticket,
experience.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for the experience of being at the Old Trafford, and then you got the few
wow.
faithful that have a season ticket.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Emirates is like that too.
Yeah,
you know?
Emirates-
It's like,
Emirates is
Emirates.
the library.
yeah.
Call it.
what?
That's
The
what
library.
Fight. It's not passionate.
Yeah, it's not the same, dude. If you want the real experience of the
Yeah.
old school, you gotta go to them lower league
Millwall.
Yeah.
teams. And,
With 19.
I don't think we want to go Millwall, though, bro.
you gotta go
We'll
to
come
them
back.
all, 'cause that's when the man them get the cheap tickets and they all
Cheap
go in
tickets.
there and have a good time.
Scrap
But
it out, yeah.
them
Yeah.
like Man City,
Forget
that's all
about
man coming from next places, like you know. Liverpool even is turning like that. Newcastle is still,
it.
Yeah,
you know, they're the old faithful,
yeah,
but they're dead, innit?
yeah. Chain got took.
Yeah, and the watch.
Yeah.
Man didn't even let them buy it back.
Took my ring. Took my Rolex.
Yeah,
I
what's
don't know.
next?
God damn, what's next?
This is Isaiah 24:11. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, man are Klarna and everything.
Bro, Klarna, bro,
Klarna
Klarna's a Deliveroo, bro. Deliveroo.
Yeah.
Groceries.
Bro, it's because
£2.
takeaway is expensive, bro.
Yeah.
Takeaway is not cheap no more.
Yeah.
I was telling bro the other day, how is a pizza this expensive?
Yeah.
For it's more
Yeah.
expensive. And then if you order from these apps, yeah,
Bro.
it's
And-
It's
and they
satanic,
want
bro.
More charge.
Bro,
KFC. You know what I mean?
£40 for half a chicken.
Bro,
You
mad.
might as well go and kill the chicken.
Bro, when we were younger, right? Go back to like 2000 and them things there, yeah. Man would go to KFC, get a bucket of chicken for the family. It's
Yeah.
$9.99.
Yeah.
It's $9.99. Now
You
you,
go for the wrong time.
bro, it's I remember man would pay $9.99 and you get a bucket, a nice 8-piece or something. But now, bro,
Forget
if you
about
want to feed your family, you got to buy the family feast bucket for 24 quid.
Bro. Yeah, and that's from the local packy shop. It's not even from KFC, bro. Like, I'm not even joking. You
That's
see
a
them,
bad
them,
thing,
them little fucking.
Yo.
Good. My nine, she didn't have top dentures waiting for a top denture teeth, so I had to get some Nando's for her with some, some mashed potato, and I also like 20 quid. Well, half chicken and 2 sides. I was like,
And even I think they said the price of it is about to go up.
Bro, it's mad.
yeah, everyone's suffering, man.
Can I
This-
I was just saying, can I get this? You can say feature saying.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying everyone's suffering, but that's why when you be walking around certain of these people, and they'll be smiling in your face and shit like that.
Languishing, though.
But they're languishing, man. People are in actual pain, and the gas bills the energy bills about to go up again in October. And let's not forget when the interest rates went up, people's mortgages haven't gone back down in the same way they went up, man. Right?
But so a lot of them want to be landlords.
Oh, they're cooked.
They're cooked.
They're cooked. And once again, they framed the new laws as if they're beneficial to the rent, which they were. However, they were very not beneficial to the landlord. So the landlords are going to do what? Sell up. And then now it's not beneficial for the renter anymore.
It's bad for everybody. No.
Yeah, because they suckered a lot of people into wanting to be a landlord, but you really ain't got the peas behind you to be a landlord. A lot, even the whole Airbnb thing, man, we're just buying how thinking they could flip this, flip that, and then when that started going downhill, it's not looking good, is it, bro?
Mhm.
Yeah. But everything's done on purpose. They know what they're doing. Listen, when they told you you will own nothing, they know they meant it, and they know that exactly what they're gonna do. In the end, all of these safe places of safety that exist are gonna be imploded, and it's by design because they don't want anywhere where you can flee, like the whole pension thing. Now, obviously, mans have pensions and that because it is what it is. There's man now that's taking their pension, but just know that the day will come when them pensions will implode because really, all the pension schemes are what's it called?
Bunch of it.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, bunch of like investment.
It's really more coming out of it than what's going in.
Yeah.
If you really understand what these pension schemes are. So eventually, because if people have pension schemes, it's starting to rely on.
Yeah.
When they collapse this system completely, they're going to take the pensions with them.
Yeah, it's true.
And then
almost happens.
yeah.
Almost
And then it's going to be like, oh shit, well, you don't have to worry about it. There won't be no pension. It'll be UBI because UBI will be for your whole life. You know what I mean? So they got plans for everything, man. They're going to leave no stone unturned. You will own nothing. Yeah, we're going to confiscate all this property.
Yeah.
And the people are going to be with it too. Because guess what? You got this guy, Gary Stevenson, going around talking about how we need to tax the rich. Yeah, the reason they got him running around is because when they say the rich, what it's really going to be is like the upper middle class, getting everything they have taken. But the elites, the issue with them is it's not so much about what you own, it's about what you control. If you control a system that manages all the resources, you have all the resources. You see the reasoning? It doesn't matter what I personally own. If I own and control the system that owns and control, I could allocate to myself whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one in control of the system of resource allocation. And that's what the people don't get it.
Let's go if I can say though, because I'll just think about that point of tax the rich. The UK tax laws are very simple. It taxes everyone. Problem is, with the rich, there are systems that are designed that allow them to go other ways, and they're never going to get rid of those systems.
Well, they will.
But
At that point, they won't need it.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying about the reason they're allowing people to learn about the problems in the system is because the solution is already set up where it's like, you know what? The old world was unfair. It's unequal. Let's make it equal. So we're going to have now a system where the AI will give you all the resources, make sure that everyone can get the resources they need. But what we do know is the reality of that system is some men are going to need more than others. If you understand what I'm saying. Now, once you already put yourself into a system where resources are allocated, then they could do what they want in that system. Because now the elites will be like Elysium. Because they'll have control of where shit is going. And that's all they want. They want a system where all the resources are controlled and then they can allocate and people will agree to it because they're like, yeah, it's been unfair. I ain't been getting what I want. But now through this UBI system, I can get everything I want. Well, no, it just means that there's now a system in place that now they can control what everyone can get. And they show you that there's another movie where they have to control all the water, but you had a different band. So if you had like a silver band, there's a certain amount of water, but what you really want is the platinum, which gave you unlimited access to water.
Similar concept is time.
Yep. And so what you want, when you want a system of resource control, in order to justify that system, there has to be a reason. So that's why they're having all these guys like Gary Stevenson telling everybody about how unequal everything is. Because the solution to making everything equal is a system where one entity controls everything. And now you start making it fair. Yeah, sure. And
after the fact.
And I'm sure it will be fair for everyone. We'll all be eating caviar. Yeah, come on.
Can I bring this up? It's Revelation chapter 6, verse 5. And when they had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. See thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right? So we're coming into times where, inflation is going to kick everybody's ass even worse. Right? Things are not even as bad as they're going to get. Right? And so this is going to further on what we're discussing now, that need for universal basic income and all these different types of things, the mark of the beast, so that you're not suffering from these effects, from these effects that are going to take place, right? But things are about to get real worse. Things are going to become
Oh, it's gonna get
unaffordable.
bad. And remember, when you create a system of resource control, the people who it inevitably affects the most is the poor, because in a system, and this is why they're going to bring government control of resources, because in a system in a free market system, naturally, if a resource becomes scarce, it goes to the rich, but like because the rich can afford to pay the price, and the person is going to sell it based upon that price. So let's say, for instance, like right now in the UK, flour just became super rare. The supplier is going to have a fixed amount, and he has to decide, do I sell this flour equally all over the UK to make sure that every area has an opportunity to get some of the flour? Or did my man just call me from this area and say, yo, how much for the flour? And I said, I double, triple, quadruple the price. I said, yeah, cool. Send it over here and we'll take it all. That's what happens. And that happened in the World War. That's why they had to introduce rationing books, because the rich people would just say, okay, there's only a certain amount of bacon. So, okay, I'll pay 5 times the price for the bacon. This guy can only afford, so you ain't going to get none. We're going to send it all over there because it's capitalism. Obviously, I'm going to take the more money for my product. That's capitalism, right? So the government said, okay, you got price gouging, you got a situation happening where the poor people can't get the resources because the rich people have enough money to pay 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and they don't bother them. People like Elon. So it's like, now we're going to do a rationing system. Go back. They said we're going to do a rationing system so everybody has an equal opportunity to get these products. And that same thing is going to happen again. They're going to have a situation. They're going to, listen, man, we need to come in and take control of these resources because we need to help the poor people. But here, take this chip so we can make sure that you can get what you're meant to get. That's how the thing's going to go. It's a tried and proven method of problem reaction solution.
And this time it's going to be this because they allowed during the CV, they had the cards.
Yep.
But it's like those were obviously purposefully prone to abuse.
Yeah.
Because people could just make one or whatever, what have you. Whereas this one, they're going to ensure it's digital. Which is why during the CV, they allowed a lot of fraud. Exactly. They allowed a lot of fraud, even over here with the different, what was the money scheme that we gave out? Not further, but the other one, the 50 grand you could get for your business.
Business
The business loan. And there was a hell of a lot of fraud in. Like everyone knows someone that did some fraud as part.
Oh, yeah? I don't know.
All right, but basically it's like during that they did all of those, they allowed all of those things to be easily falsified, because on this one they're going about, well, last time, we allowed
There was a lot of fraud.
There was a lot of fraud.
We got the digital.
Exactly.
That's what it's on. When you understand that the core of what they're doing is really all about, it's not about money. It's about resources, because once you control resources, money does not matter. If I control where resources and services are allocated and go, then money is obsolete when you really think about it. Because what's the difference? There is no difference. If I control all of the resources in the world, I might as well be the richest man in the world. In fact, it's better because I just get what I want at any time. It's no difference. And so that's where the system, they can break the old system to create a new system of resource control. And that's really what it's all about, man. They want to own everything. And then you're just like on the plantation owner owned everything. And he just gives you what he feels he wants to give you for you to survive. And if he don't want to give it to you, then you just don't get it. But it's his. You will own nothing. I will give you what you need. And if I feel you don't need it, you ain't getting it.
The same thing that happened in Egypt. It's like, if you didn't give up your land, bro,
You cook.
you ain't getting none of this corn, bro. I don't know where you're gonna get your corn from. But if you want corn, you have to
And it's a
give
lot
it up.
easier because they've created a system where the streams of resources is like concentrated in a few major corporations and infrastructures. So it's even easier for them to control all the resources now than it was before, because Amazon, the big supermarket, it's all big chain infrastructure to get you what you want. So they have it. You just fuse these things together, control them, and what can you do? You're gonna go China and get the product yourself. Is that your belief? You got your own plane? You ain't.
Or the massive Maersk ships. You see the size of them ships, man, where they bring in all the containers. Bumper class.
Yeah, that's it.
Got this. Yeah, go on. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. So behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon earth, right? So you might thinking right now, you know, things are expensive, but things are good in comparison.
Well, it used to be cheap.
Well, in comparison compared to, you know, what's going to go on, you know, things are going to be relatively cheaper than the time to come, right? See, behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow. So this is what we keep telling you: evil is going to grow upon the earth, right?
It's
Make
already
things worse.
happening. We can't even say evil's gonna grow. It's already growing and making things worse.
Growing is present tense.
That's what I'm saying.
It's present tense.
It's already growing, and we've already been in the period where man was getting food cheap as hell. It's no longer cheap. We just discussing it. To go out and eat out is fucked now. So we've actually already entered the period where inflation went crazy. During the C19, inflation was on a madness. Compared to the previous time, it accelerated. We've been accelerating through inflation. So we're actually in that point where everything that we're reading about here is actually happening. Now, evils have grown. All these wars and all these different things just popping off all over the place. We're no longer in a time of peace and everything is nice and easy. What is everyone universally complaining about? The cost of living. So we're no longer in a cheap era. And like you said, it is only going to get worse and worse. But the good times are really behind us. The good times is gone, like completely gone. All you got is man on the internet now going into the supermarket going, yo, what's going on? Like, there's man that have pulled out receipts here that they've held from a few years ago, and it's mad compared to what they were paying just a few years ago. Everyone can feel it. Like,
now, bro.
it's mental. Even if you're not healthy.
I was last night. Or the night. Yeah. Like, shit, man.
Bro, so hard, he can't even make words.
And it started around the C19 and it's just gotten
It's
just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. Everything's going up and up and up. Your money, look how much value the dollar's lost in a year. It's lost bare in just 1 year. The dollar's gone down ridiculous in purchasing power. So we are really in that time where we're in the process of this actually happening. Shit ain't been cheap in a while. For no one. Hurt.
As even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
So that it's going to get worse, like the brother's saying, as these things grow, right? Then it's going to come to a point where it's going to get to starvation levels. That's actually coming down the pipeline, man. And people don't realize it because they think it's going to get better, like it's going to turn around. No, it's going to get worse. They're going to turn the screws more and more, inflation more and more, print more and more money, make the money worth less and less.
Well, the Bank of England was talking about quantitative easing again
There we go.
today or yesterday. When I see that quantitative easing again because of the interest rates and stuff, man.
There you go.
You know.
So what's that going to do to the value of the pound? So now our shit's worth less and less and less, man.
Yeah, they're just gonna print a bunch of money.
And a lot of people are already on the bread line, man. The food banks are already like
fucking
out of control.
Bro, these days, man, it's like a line into a club.
It weren't like that when we were growing up. When we were growing up, now they weren't. I don't even remember seeing a bread line.
This is the UK. First world bread line in the UK.
And there's a lot of people
in
in
London.
Clothes too.
Yeah, London,
normal
rich,
clothes.
rich area of England.
Normal clothes.
I'm laughing. You say normal clothes because in Barking, there's always this one big tranny that's in the line, high heels on,
How you trying to homeless?
a big butch tranny too. So it's like man's blatant. Like when you see it, you gotta double take it. You're like, wait, hold on, what the fuck is that? And it's some big tranny in stilettos and shit in the bread line by the Salvation Army.
How you a tranny in the bread line?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it just goes this kingdom's got belly like
What?
legal aid.
Hey,
Regular women don't stand in line.
Yeah.
in heels, in stilettos. They don't do it. Regular women don't do that shit.
Demons, bro.
But I've seen man there more than once, but I'm like, what's going on?
Man, they should turn them away, man. That is free cash. Go to all your charities that make it happen.
But I'm not in just that little barking area. There's about 5 red lines.
Wow.
Because they've got the one at the center where, remember when Annie got married? Yeah, so there's one there. There's one at the Salvation Army. There's one in the library, the library where the library is.
Or the center.
Yeah, there's one there. I know the other church around the corner by the Lidl does a bread line there. There's more than a few bread lines, man. And it's long too. Man's just always there lining up, getting to get their shit. And that's just in one borough. If you go through London, you'll see them like,
you see
what's
them?
this line for? And you see like it'll cut into a place and you see man there handing out potatoes
Yeah.
and
And this is a London borough. London is like the rich part of England.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
Barkindagen's like the poorest borough,
Yeah.
but it's still London. Barkindagen's still better off than fucking Manchester or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna get
So with
worse.
these, yeah.
I got something.
Just one more verse. Verse 23 said, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, but the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
So this is where it's gonna help. And your Messiah Trump, he's gonna help lead it to that. Because they want a crisis of that magnitude to bring in their new world order, but it's prophecy at the same time.
Yep.
The Lord wants that to happen.
Yep.
Great judgment. And we're really at the precipice of it happening. But man can't really see it because they think there's light at the end of this tunnel. There ain't no light, man.
Light in Trump.
There ain't no light. Like, it's actually gonna get worse. The inflation's gonna get worse and worse and worse, right? They're gonna start sabotaging the agriculture more and more and more. So there's gonna be more shortages. Ever since C19, bro, how many times I go into the supermarket and shit ain't there?
Yeah.
I go shopping for my grandparents and I got a caller like, yo,
They ain't got this.
they ain't got this right now. They ain't got this bread that you need. They ain't got no eggs. Like, it's like, then can I get an alternative? Most men have to shop with alternatives now. Because you go into Aldi and that, I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of times I go there and there's certain things that just ain't there.
Yeah, bro.
It's not stocked.
Certain shit you ain't seen in time, bro.
That's why I always, not to mention it again, so I always say that Clark's in the farm, man. It really shows you how fucked farmers are, not just are, but have been, right? All of this, like, moving from the EU, they were promised a whole load of subsidies that they never got, right? When my man, there was an episode where Clarkson was like, yeah, man, he said to one of this other farmer, yeah, don't worry, like, we're going to open a shop, right? And then, yeah, we can stock your milk or something like that. And she cried. She cried because she was like, yo, because basically the way the supermarkets do it is the supermarket set your price.
Yeah, yeah. And if you can't afford it,
If you can't, and it's a thing of like, so she was like, right, at least now I can potentially make a profit.
Yeah.
You know, and I always remember how he ended off season 1. He was like, look, man, I'm okay. I'm a celebrity personality. I can just go do Who Wants to Be a Million and I'm good. And it was like, bro, but these man,
they're being destroyed.
They're
No,
being
farmers
destroyed.
all over America, and these are people that own $1 million, $2 million in assets, but they're poor.
yeah.
And then big pharma just comes in and takes it over.
These
You know?
days, it's cheaper to go to an actual local farm to get, like, actually get the milk and the eggs. You know what I mean? I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's always so funny.
Yeah.
Then
Support local farmers.
support our British farmers.
Real English.
Real English.
Proper England, proper
English.
England, innit?
You know what? One day, man, if that bacon at work scoffs, I'm gonna tell him, when's the last time you've been to a local farm and supported your
That's it.
local
Yeah,
farm?
that's it.
I fucking go there, mate. I'm gonna do it, man.
I got this.
Yeah,
So Revelation 6, 5 and 6, it says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see, and I beheld, and lo, black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, which is a day's wages, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
it's gonna be crazy. And even what man needs to realize is that these tariffs that they're putting on are also part of the squeeze. Because what the tariff is ultimately gonna do is if you're cutting off the world from them cheap Chinese goods, you're actually hurting the people that rely on cheap shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do rely on, like, listen, I need to go Primark
Poundland.
or somewhere here to get the cheap goods. Now, if you're putting on mad tariffs on that and it goes up, now, yeah, the manufacturer there will try and help, but they can't absorb all of that. So now the supplier here, and they can't, some of it has to be passed on to the consumer.
Yeah.
And then obviously it doesn't help because people are like, oh, yeah, but then you buy local. But the reason you weren't buying local in the first place is because it was expensive. So now you're just paying more money.
Yeah, and you know what? There was something. So in America, they set a precedent years ago about how a company has to do stuff for the benefit of the shareholders. The whole thing. Yeah, it's fucked up because you can't do something for the benefit of your employees or for the benefit of the customers, for the benefit of the shareholders. But basically, because Apple just had their new launch recently, and one of the things that they said was, look, we've got like $1 billion that is we're gonna get hit from the tariffs, but don't worry, guys, we're not gonna raise the price of the iPhone. We'll absorb it for you, and their stock price went down.
Yeah, because obviously that reduces the profit margin.
Company profits, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, you
That
know,
was one of the things, but yeah, that was certainly, yeah.
so it's that they would sell the what Trump did with these tariffs. They're selling it to you like, oh, we're making money, and which is offset because the money they're bringing in from the tariffs is from the people. Because someone's gonna foot that bill. It's not China's not paying that money, right? But the purpose of it ultimately is to put the price up of the cheapest goods, which hurts the people who have the lowest what's it called? Disposable income.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that once they spend all their money at the end of the month, they might only have like a certain amount. So you start edging into that. Whereas rich man, if they don't, when prices and shit goes up, it don't affect them because it's like, what the fuck, man? Petrol's gone up by £2. Who cares, man? Fill the tank, innit?
Yeah.
But for the man
When
that's
they're
broke,
driving a G-Wagon, it's like, what's £2 extra in
Yeah.
tax? Like,
they don't care. So then that's what they're really doing. They're hurting the
100%.
small businesses who are gonna find it hard, who are already hurt from C19 anyway. They're hurting small businesses and they're hurting the little people with everything they do. Everything they do right now is all about squeezing the normal person and then blaming it on foreigners.
Yeah, because if I can, because it's something like when I speak to certain of the people that I know that are from like different parts of the world and that, right? It's Isaiah 13:14 says, and it shall be as the chase row and the sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. But I brought that out because what's happening is the quality of life is going down and down in these Western countries. So it's like, for instance, it's from like maybe 7, 8, 10 years ago, I knew quite a few Romanians, right, as an example. And then they're all going back home.
Yeah.
They're all like, look, we came here for a better life. But at this point, you know, in this time I've been, I built my yard back in Romania. And really, I'm looking around and I don't really see anything that's better for me here. So I'm going to go back home.
Let me ask you a question. You see that man that's got the H1B1 business in America? Could they buy properties and stuff and own properties while they're working in America?
Oh, I think they should be able to.
Because you gotta ask yourself, like, some people might just say, you know what, man, I've made enough money out of America that I can pack up shop, go back to my country and probably work remotely, and I'm good. Because I've made enough money out of America that if I go back home, I live like a king anyway. And there's a lot of people in that position that they've used America to stack up a certain amount of money and a certain amount of assets. If they liquidated everything they have and went back home, they'd be more than surviving.
That's true.
And you're gonna see a lot more of that happening. That's probably already happened. People probably thinking it's hostile. They're like, you know what, man? You know what? If I like sell up this house and I sell up everything I got here and I go back there, I can get a cheaper house that's better,
Bigger.
and bigger.
So they're eligible to purchase houses in the US.
Yeah, so there's probably a lot of them. This HB1 thing. There's probably a lot of them that's probably even thinking, raw, like, I've been here for a few years still. I've been earning 200, 300 grand a year. I got bare savings. I got bare stocks. I got all this stuff. Listen, if that man don't really want me here, I'll just sell up all my assets, sell up my house, and I'll go back to India and live in Mumbai in the elite area and then just work from there.
And the thing is, especially the way them man's families are connected up, they probably already built their house. They just need to move in. It's just like kids will move, pulling it. And that's the thing. A lot of people they stay here because of the children. But if as society, as this Western world starts failing more and more, you're gonna these Edomites that are complaining about immigration, they're gonna understand why those people came here in the first place.
Yeah.
Because it's not a light thing for someone to move their entire family unless things are hard. So when them man I start seeing actually home looks a little bit better right now.
Especially if you got peas.
Yeah.
If you've got peas in your pocket, man, don't realize that. Listen, private living is private living. Like you can go to like this brother would tell you straight. You could go to Ghana and take the same money you're living here, middle class, and go to Ghana, and you're living there like a fucking king, and your kids are going to the best schools in Ghana, and your neighborhood ain't no slum.
Yep.
Your neighborhood's nice, and you got a maid and everything, and there's bare man that can do that. Man,
You know,
people forget that. Listen, there's immigrants that's made enough money in America
Yeah.
that really,
don't
if they
need-
wanted to,
yeah.
they could shut up shop here
children.
and go live a better life.
Yeah.
The children. But a lot of people, it's literally just even another guy who was saying, look, were it not for my children, I'll be back in Poland.
A lot of Polish man did move back.
Yeah. Because the West is trouble.
No.
I was gonna say because the West is no longer that great London or great America. It's shit now.
There's a gate. Listen, wherever you want to go, there's a gated community waiting for you. And that is the truth. And Trump likes to talk about shithole countries. By the end of the day, man, wherever the most shithole country you can find, there's a gated community for you.
But
If you got the right amount of money,
But America's supposed to be golden gated city. We've got shit areas.
they got shit area there. Take the money, bro. Go to Brazil. There's a gated community waiting for you, man.
I mean, think about it, like even in Ghana, if you earn £300 a month, like here in Ghana, that's actually counted as a fantastic wage. Like there's people who get paid like £60 a month.
That's what I'm saying.
But
So if you're an immigrant and you saved up like 300 grand,
Yeah.
how long could you live in Ghana without even having to work?
I got hoes. Yeah.
This is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
There's a lot of when you're looking at like when you're talking about these H1B1 dudes, yeah. There's a lot of these men that have been in America for long enough that they've stacked up peas.
Stacks up.
So they could just take their peas and leave, and they're not citizens. So I don't even think they'd have to pay a fee to do that.
Oh yeah, because that's if they've not got I mean America itself. If you have a green card, now if you're a citizen, you're basically your global wages are taxed. Which is and then I think you renounce your citizenship,
You have to
you
pay
have
for
to
that.
pay a shitload of money.
So in a way, man, a lot of the because there's obviously a lot of poor immigrants in America,
Yeah.
but people forget there's a lot of immigrants that's got peas.
Yeah.
And if they think to themselves, no, like you know what, man, I could go back home and bust a gated community thing.
But even one of the things I always remember saying to my family in Zim is ironically like a month or two before COVID hit London, and I was like, yeah, but if something was to happen, you lot have land, you've got a water tank. Like if, for instance, in Zimbabwe, everyone's got solar, right? Because the grid is so inefficient, everyone just has solar
Yeah.
because like we can't trust the grid. Everyone will have like a water tap because you don't drink the municipal water, and you don't drink that shit. Right, and I was telling them that yeah, shit was happening here. You lot actually kind of better off, because that's what we're gonna find out in London and these metropolises, these mother cities. We're fucked when shit happens. Like, what we're gonna do? Just go and that 3 tomato plants you have in the
Yeah,
yard.
that's it. Well, people are gonna. So you're gonna start seeing the prophecy come to pass, where you're gonna see an exodus.
Mm.
You're gonna see, but not from the poor, because niggas that's poor in America ain't going nowhere. But you do have immigrants and people of that nature. You got Mexicans that got bread in America that might think, you know what, yeah, they got this spot in Mexico that I got a gated community with private police here, and to be honest with you, I can live a good life over there. I don't have to put up with these fuckers trying to threaten me.
Yeah.
But again, you wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if certain of these other nations though, like whether it be your China, because this is one of the things that like certain of these people, they appreciate the industrialism that these Edomites here are gonna hate on you for, because on Polish and Romanian man, they're great builders. Certain the Mexicans, I wouldn't be surprised. Not saying it's gonna happen. Wouldn't be surprised to say like a China or whatever was like, yeah, man, come over here and help us build. Like certainly them countries, like earlier on I mentioned the countries that with the low birth rate. Guess what? You need workers. wouldn't be surprised if you
You
start
feeling
seeing Japan be like, yo, we need builders to come over here. or
And
whatever.
And that makes China more of a powerhouse than it was already.
And if these guys with money start vacating America, then what you're going to end up is these even men that are left there even more hurt.
But it's alright because the great American worker, they're so great, they're gonna keep America bubbling, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there was even something where
Give
they
American
haven't got American workers to replace the jobs that they're getting rid of these these immigrants from.
Yeah.
So how are they gonna support all these hospitals and shit? There's no infrastructure for you to uphold, man.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fail because you're lazy, bro. There's not enough of you.
Come on, man.
You know?
Imagine a bigger fat American
Yeah.
picking strawberry. You eat them.
You ain't got the education. You ain't got the education. You ain't got the work ethic. You ain't got the diet.
Yeah.
Bro, like I said, if you've only just come here, it's a bit peak. But there's a lot of men that's been here for 10, 15
Made their money.
years, and they've made a lot of money, and they got money sitting there,
Yeah.
and they probably think to themselves, this shit ain't worth it, man. I could live a much better life somewhere else.
Yeah.
And as much as you think that the West is so first world and you can't get no quality of life nowhere else, bro, everywhere you go on the planet has their part.
Bro, you
That's
can make your own little place first world. Your own little-
in India. People think that when they see the slums in India, they think that there ain't no
nice
nice areas.
Palaces.
If you got the money, you
Yeah. Must be, but it's
Bro. if you got the money, man, there's a segment in every country that you're nice. You don't have to be in the slums with the slumdog millionaire.
No. Yeah, that's true.
People don't realize that, but because the image is portrayed that every country outside of the West, everyone is just down bad and no, man, no, you could go anywhere with the favelas here, but then across there's gated communities with private security, and they're chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for cheap, for way less than what you would spend to live like that in America. I'm telling you, a lot of men are gonna be thinking it. We read it. They're gonna say, "Yo, Babylon cannot be healed, man. Let's get the fuck out of here." Because these men are moving ruthless, man.
This is second Ezra 15 and 18. Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So these major cities are the ones
They're gonna be born under pressure right now.
What
What am I doing with some apartment in New York that cost me $2 million for, and I'm dealing with all these pressures? Man, I sell that shit, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if I was, I'd be like, you know what, man? Where can I move right now that I can live my best life? And I'll be going there right now, but I won't be staying in America or London. You got man staying in London for what? London's getting worse. There's certain man that if they really did decide to sell the assets they have in London and get the fuck out of here, they'd be living like kings somewhere and not dealing with none of this bullshit. The kids will be all private school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But once again,
it's done.
it's lucky because this the thing that Esau will do. Because they try to be like, oh, if China's so great, why does Xi Jinping's daughter go to Harvard? But it's like what he will do is he will make his institutions and only his institutions the ones that are able to be certified. Because for instance, my family member, he went boarding school in South Africa. Bro, he was like, bro, boarding school in South Africa ain't no joke. Even in Zim, he was like, bro, even boarding school in Zim ain't no joke. You're gonna be getting top tier education. But then Esau will come around and be like, oh, where did you get that degree though?
Yeah, but now they're making it harder for you to come in.
Yeah.
And it's costing more. It's not even worth it no more. Like, who was I talking to? One guy I was talking to, he talked about Nigerians. And one guy was saying, listen, some of these men, the amount of money they're paying to get a degree in the UK, it's not even worth it no more.
Not worth it. No. Them international fees are dead.
The international fees are fucked up. So at this point, you might as well just get your normal degree and work. And that's why the global south now is starting to be more about themselves. Listen, man, we're going to do our thing over here. Why do we all want to go to America for? Fuck them. The only reason you need a degree from Harvard is if you want to impress some dickhead in America. Fuck them. Let them have it.
One guy I used to work with, his missus orthodontist, right, in Russia. He wants to bring her over. And it was like, she cannot be an orthodontist without retraining, spending tens of thousands of pounds to retrain. And I'm like, I said, bro, teeth to teeth, isn't it? It's like, why do you need to spend another 10 grand to do the job here that you were doing over there?
They're going to have to build a wall to keep Americans in. And that's what man don't realize is the West here is going to have a reversal, but people are not going to realize it. That really, The reason they're building all these border walls and that, it's never going to be trying to keep people in. But when that place starts collapsing downwards, people are going to be trying to get back into Mexico. Like, yo, we're going to go back because there's an avocado tree in my granny's yard that we could eat from.
That was in the purge. They've been trying to keep people inside.
Trying to keep people inside. People are going to say, like, oh, shit ain't really good here no more, man.
If I can just say, because if you look at some of the new tax laws that are being proposed by different European nations, they're proposing that American model of what you leave. Yeah, you can leave, but you're still paying tax here too. So that to take away that incentive of I'm just going to take my money and move over there. Because then I was like, well, you can do that. We're still going to tax you.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, it's gonna get. We've got any closing scriptures? It's gonna get peaked, yeah. And like we're seeing it play out before our very eyes, like, and always go by the opposite of what they're saying. We got the hottest country in the world right now. Nah, man, if man are moving out, man are moving away from all that. The world has been moving away from America as being the centerpiece. Right? These emerging places, there's man living in other countries, earning good money and living good. Right? You ain't got to be in America no more to make the top dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's just these Americans that's gassed off America, and they think the only place you can get a good burger is America. That's bullshit.
Because a person can live somewhere. And
Welcome to a burger, home of the good, good burger, home of the good burger. Can I think?
Done.
You know what I mean?
Because a person can be in a so-called poor country, but their living expenses are less.
Yeah, oh, it's
So you're right.
determines purchasing power parity.
Yeah.
And that's what you're gonna see. I guarantee you, there's a lot of immigrants. They see the anti-immigrant thing, and they're different. You're talking about kids, but a lot of people are fearful of their kids. But do we want to grow up in a country where man might start getting attacked because of where maybe we need to just go home?
And really, the people that are of a certain age, like let's say now they're approaching their 60s, 70s, but a lot of them are milking the fish. What they do is just sell their house, sell their assets, and get pension from here. And come back every 6 months for the free healthcare. A family member of mine, aka my mother, she sold her house. She just goes, comes back, gets her pension, gets her medicine, and goes back. That's what they do.
A lot of men, like, not so much the West Indies, but definitely people from the other places. That's a viable option for them, man. And what we're saying is a real thing. So they're gonna have to start keeping people in, because a lot of people with real assets and real value are gonna say, "Fuck this place." Like, why am I doing it for? Why am I here? Everything's getting more expensive. Yeah, and I'm now not really living a good life as I could be living if I just left. Sell my house. My house is worth 400 grand. Like, boom, off the bat.
What's then that going to cause? A drop, because a couple of guys will do it. House prices, nothing really happens. But then more and more people start doing it, and then people are, oh shit, and the house prices tank.
That's what happened in COVID. Like when the interest rates was all bugging out, like homes going for cheap.
All these doctors in the US now that they're saying now they got the H1B1 thing and they might not be able to keep them. Some of them guys have been there for years stacking up peas. They're like, okay, I might get offered to be a doctor over here. Let me add it up. All these peas I've made, what my house is worth. You know what, man? I'll be fine. I'd have a nice little nest egg when I go back home. And if the atmosphere changes in the future, I could always come back.
You
know what I'm saying? Bro, people are thinking about it. So fuck America, man. It's gonna go down in a bad way. We're gonna see it, man. They're gonna have to be keeping people in.
I have a precept.
Go on.
This is Baruch 4:30. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice that I fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy son. So all these major cities, really, especially where, Jacobs has kind of like served them and had a history. The main quality of life in these places is fucking dropping, man. Because it's really it's really them curses and them judgments, man. Like London, was a big hub for slavery. It's cooked.
Well, Birmingham's bankrupt.
Birmingham,
Bankrupt.
second city.
Liverpool as well.
Liverpool, like
Yeah, so
A lot
so
of
much of the property in England ain't in London ain't even owned by people from here anyway, man.
Chinese.
You know what I'm saying?
Russians,
oligarchs.
yeah, man, oligarchs.
Fuck this place,
So
man.
the place is miserable.
Hey, listen, man, I pay you for free, man. Go look it up and tell us that we're lying, man. You can look it up. There's places in the world you live like a king, like an absolute king with the assets that a lot of people are holding on to in the hope that this place is gonna be that how it used to be.
Yeah.
But then some man start waking up to that. They're like, oh, you know what, man?
For far too
Warmer.
long, for far too long, there's always been an out. What I mean by that, we had the Great Depression and we came out, and we had whatever it was called in the 1970s, and we came out. Then we had 2008, and then we came out. But what they're not accounting for is this time there ain't no coming out. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, it's cooked, man. And so we thank Trump for everything he's doing to destroy America, man. And Scott Bessant, man, you look about it, boy. Keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? But us, like, we just got to hope in the Lord, and we're gonna be all right anyway. We're gonna watch this place go down.
Yeah.
You know? So with that, close up. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Honor to brothers and